American Magic and Alinghi Red Bull Racing are facing elimination from the 37th America's Cup. Both teams one loss away from shattered dreams.
We knew that the breeze was going to die, and we wanted to be as close as possible to INEOS.
INEOS Britannia with that 4-0 lead. Not too far behind. There's Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
It's definitely jeopardy when it's those conditions. It doesn't really matter how big your lead is or how far behind you are, because it can change in an instant.
INEOS Britannia off the foils.
They've beaten pretty much all of the other teams in these light conditions, and so was the case today.
It will now become 4-1, and the Swiss are still alive in Barcelona.
We are still in it, so anything can change from us.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. The Italians in the box seat at the moment in this must-win match for American Magic.
I'm not very happy with my performance today.
And we have a lead change. Can American Magic hold on?
Momentum's starting to swing. You can feel it.
Pretty much neck and neck.
Italians going for the protest. They will fall off the foils here, the Italians.
Umpire's just making sure you got our protest button.
We went everything or nothing, and it was a mistake.
One through the finish line here, gents. We're not leaving. We're not leaving.
Between the 4 losses we've had, it's 50 seconds total, and we beat them by a lap today.
American Magic sailing Patrick get the win.
Everybody gets back ribs.
We have full confidence within our team that we can rattle off 4 more wins.
Molt bona tarda. Welcome to Barcelona, where the race for survival in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals might just see another twist in the Cup story. 2 days ago, and facing elimination, Alinghi Red Bull Racing had to deliver a near-perfect performance, and they did in light air conditions against INEOS Britannia. American Magic also had to produce the goods, and they too got the vital win against Luna Rossa. 2 teams, 2 campaigns, still alive, but there's also 2 teams who want to deliver the KO today. It's still a long shot for the Americans and Swiss, but if they can produce the great comebacks, then they could be fighting for this, the Louis Vuitton Cup. Win 7 races in the Cup final and you're into the match against Emirates Team New Zealand. Just to make it crystal clear, both INEOS Britannia and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli are in the box seats. Both just need 1 more win to make the Louis Vuitton Cup final. How hard could it be? Well, this is the America's Cup, and it will always throw up a surprise or 2. So both leading teams will want to get it done today. First into the start box will be INEOS Britannia and Alinghi Red Bull Racing. INEOS on port entry, Alinghi starboard. That's followed by the Italians and the Americans. Patriot will enter the start box from starboard, Luna Rossa port. And if needed, we'll just keep on racing. The pressure has not gone off Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They still need 3 wins to keep their campaign alive. INEOS Britannia, they admitted they made mistakes in the last race. They will just want to go out there onto the racecourse and put the hammer down. American Magic, same position as Alinghi. Win 3 races and your campaign remains on course. And for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, well, Francesco Brini, he admitted he didn't have a good day out, but hey, let's see what unfolds on the course this afternoon. In Barcelona, some of the best places to watch the racing is the race villages and fan zones. Big screens, local cuisine and refreshments. Perfecto. Let's update conditions now on the race course with Shirley Robertson.
Having survived their must-win battles 48 hours ago, 2 Cup teams are once again on the ropes. This could be their final day, and emotions here in Barcelona are high. The wind speed and the formidable sea state are both easing as the day progresses. We can expect a light easterly breeze for this decisive set of matches. With the Barcelona bump adding to the jeopardy of every single manoeuvre. We're currently seeing between 8 and 12 knots, with increasing instability creeping into play. Well, hopefully we can all make sense of the America's Cup course with the help of Windsight IQ. We will show you the real-time breeze in a wind map. It's so good. Green is more breeze and blue less, and we will then push that data through our own AC75 performance simulation to have a very educated punt at predicting the match-winning route.
So for the 6th time, INEOS Britannia, Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Undeniably frustrated to be outsailed by the Swiss on Monday, we can expect Ben Ainsley's team to approach this match with a new level of focus. They just want to get the job done. Well, opposite Ben in the driving seat, having the time of his life, it's the impressively composed Cup rookie Dylan Fletcher. The rock-solid performance team is Lee McMillan and Bledon Mon, and providing the power will be Leask, Hunter, Todd Hunter and Luke Parkinson.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing, well, they've got a race win on the board. Now they need to build on it. It may have been slow, but that last race was pressure all the way, and they did well to make it in the time limit. Looking to consolidate, Arno Sarafagas and Max Bachelor need more of the same in these tricky conditions today, relying heavily on Trimmers Metro and Roulard to keep the boat rolling, along with that impressive power team, Malafa, Notti, Stahlberg and Niels Tunick.
So we're getting close to a start. For the 6th time these two go to battle. Will it be the last time we see Alinghi Red Bull racing in battle? And will we see INEOS Britannia, the first team into the Louis Vuitton Cup final? Hold tight.
This is the race committee. The wind sampling is complete and this race will start on schedule.
So for both teams, the pressure just ramped up a notch and we're heading into the start box. 2 minutes and 10, it will be INEOS Britannia on port. 2 minutes, it will be Alinghi Red Bull Racing on starboard.
So much at stake in this race for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Years of work, millions of dollars. It has all come down to this.
Anytime. 4 down, pushing move. 1 node. Starting here. High well, hailing on exit. Should be good here. Cat ring. 2. All the way. Back on board.
INEOS Britannia aiming in at the port entry at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. They'll get the green light. You'll see the bar light up. And there it is. They are good to go. A little bit late into the box. 2 minutes. It will be Alinghi Red Bull Racing waiting for the green light. Green light is good and go. And we are into this very, very important 6th race.
Massive pin bias. Okay, here to giant. Hold on, 2.
The British team here going into a spin, so they'll be basically circling around to put pressure on Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Must-win race here for the Swiss team to stay in the competition.
55, little pressure here.
Really changeable conditions. They've got to be eyes out the boat.
40.
Still some big holes in this breeze, so they have to be on their toes here.
25. Pressure here. 1. Hold down.
You want to go low? Early. Yeah, go fast.
They are going down. They are not attacking.
Backing up slightly.
They are not attacking. 10. Killing 10 and landing behind now. 20 dots.
The Swiss team quite early here,
yeah,
Shirley.
very early.
A lot of time to kill there.
6.
Light breeze also only seeing 8 knots in the start box.
They are attacking behind us. Your call is
They're killing a lot of time, the Swiss, so the British still early, even from where they are, so they'll be looking to build speed and put a lot of pressure on the Swiss team here.
Should be good here. That's in the line.
19.
Access now. Okay, next bit on boys. 50. A little bit of Lewis.
It is open by 4.
Left-hand bias on the start. Could work out well for the Swiss.
2. 1. And racing.
It is on race 6 in the Louis Vuitton Cup final series between INEOS Britannia and Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Great start from Switzerland, 5 meters back from the start line and going fast.
They wanted that pin end and they did a good job just to not overshoot.
I think we'll be protected in the boundary. A little lower now. 20. little pressure building.
Big left phase at the moment.
Let's drop
No tack in at the moment. Okay,
Yes.
let's speed for the tack. Right,
Okay.
real on here. Yeah, okay.
Very light. Bye. Two.
I've got enough.
One. Ball's going down. Passion.
Tack, yeah,
And tack.
ball down.
The Swiss have to be careful.
No problem. More they tack before.
Tack here. Oh, they've entered the foil.
Press. Press.
That's a huge loss for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Pressure on INEOS Britannia. A really slow tack there by the Swiss team.
Passion. Pressure coming back. Okay, happy to go now.
Advantage INEOS Britannia now. Big speed build for the Swiss.
Okay. Little pressure coming on the left. And the pressure up. No problem with them.
Level for now.
Going to chase there. Pete, how about that for a start? And how about a moment for Alinghi?
Yeah, good start by Alinghi, but unfortunately they came unstuck in the attack, and that has given the advantage to INEOS. Look, the conditions, it's tricky. Looking at the sky, it's still down south, it's quite dark, and I think that will drag the wind around to the right-hand side. It wouldn't surprise me to see a big wind shift at some stage in this race.
Yeah, currently the breeze is in the left. If you're at Alinghi Red Bull Racing, you just got to hang in that spot as long as you can. Massive lift, 20 degrees.
Pressing. Still good left here, I think. Okay.
Dylan Fletcher just holding the left hand down on that steering wheel and squeezing the Swiss team off there. So
it looks good this way to me right now. Okay.
Swiss having to clear their air.
Right a little bit now. You will not get too late. Looking for attack here. I think 2-0. Stand by.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the course axis to 090.
Okay. Nice clean tack on INEOS Britannia there. They'll be happy with that.
Good pressure between us and the windward gate. Yeah, the place there, looking 32s.
Alinghi really needing to pull off this tack surely cleanly on this left-hand boundary there. Keeping the game here.
Pressure 2, 1, forward. Nice pressure on our left. Pressure. Other board.
There's jeopardy in every manoeuvre. The Swiss team just need to keep it tight, stay as close as they can to INEOS.
We're crossing here, all good. As in the windward gate. Pressure on here.
Not have the speed yet.
So the British there deciding to just carry on to that lay line, which is not far away, so deciding not to tack in front of Alinghi there and reduce one manoeuvre and take the gain by just being able to do one tack and then go through the gate.
Board 2, 1, made. Quite well. 2, 1, and board. Yeah, push careful. I think level for now.
Nice clean tack there on INEOS Britannia, so they'll be winding up their speed and hoping to lay that right mark.
Potential left hit. Yeah. Pressing. Going to be left-handed, just keep the speed on. Keeping the speed on.
And they've sailed into a bit of a righty there, so gains back to the Swiss, and the British they're going to have to do another manoeuvre as well, so advantage Switzerland here.
Take the same mark.
Nothing in this race.
INEOS Britannia about to go around the mark at the top gate for the first time. Is this one leg closer to the Louis Vuitton Cup final? Alinghi Red Bull Racing would like to have a say about that as they follow the leader.
Pretty light. Standby jibe.
Please get a jibe in. Push. Trap here. Your trap. Oh, your trap. My trap, copy. They're just above our line. Can we beat them to it here? Yeah, any time here. Stand by. And board down here. My trap.
Are yours?
Simultaneous jibes there by both boats, so...
1, boarding up. Happy to say aye for the pressure. Happy to say aye. Say aye. Aye.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1.3 knots.
The Swiss will roll the British here, straight round the bow. Slow jibe by the British and a lead change.
Can I roll?
Very good sailing from Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They stayed high, got into new pressure, and used it well.
And it's just getting hung up on a little bit of a bad swell there. Super tricky conditions. Very nice job by the Swiss team there.
So first downward leg in race 6 of this Louis Vuitton Cup semi-final. And Alinghi Red Bull Racing are fighting for survival. They have the lead at this point.
Good speed in this light conditions. Alinghi Red Bull Racing seem really quite nimble.
Swiss have launched themselves out of that jibe and taken a really healthy lead there, so need to execute this jibe cleanly.
Nice, good pressure. Holding here.
Just having a look at the jibe there from INEOS, and loss of the rudder there, getting hooked up on the back of a swell. And that big ventilation of that rudder, pulling the brakes on, and a huge rebuild of the apparent wind on that AC-75.
Let's go on to Chase Arapiti. What do you make of this?
For me, Alinghi Red Bull Racing just look a little bit more lively in this condition. In the bottom end, for INEOS, they just look vulnerable in the bottom end when they get into manoeuvres, and their inability to accelerate is costing them.
35 to the line. Really, there is a lot of different pressure on the course. Bottom left, right here. Bottom right, looking upwind, still quite soft.
Don't have any speed.
Currently, INEOS Britannia are in 7 knots of wind, really struggling there for pace. Alinghi in 11. The gap is growing between Switzerland and Great Britain.
To be slightly over the line like this with the lefty. Nice pressure here.
This is the umpire's boundary penalty GBR removed advantage rule.
Is that a frustrated look from Ben Aisley?
It's a concentrated look, I think, and a massive lead there to Alinghi Red Bull Racing, sailing really well, and possibly that slight extra area on their foils helping them in these conditions compared to the British.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1.1 nautical miles.
Continue straight, a bit.
Just skimming the boundary there, the British, so little unforced error. It hasn't cost them much.
So it's Alinghi Red Bull Racing in a race for their America's Cup life that lead INEOS Britannia at the conclusion of the second leg for them, and they head up on leg number 3 upwind. And that lead to INEOS Britannia is growing.
Super nice mark rounding there from Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Still need to sail the boat well here. Possibly may have lined up the British here. They'll probably sneak around the bow there without having to deviate course, but not much in that.
Right-of-way boat is Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Well, they could have actually tacked a little earlier there and really got the British fully stitched up, but
out on the setup.
hopefully out of jail for a free card.
INEOS Britannia back at pace now to complete leg number 2 of this 6th race between them in their semi-final series of the Louis Vuitton Cup. Long way still to go. 4 legs to be completed.
Lost my trap, good trap. That boat for now, that leg. Okay, good pressure here. Boundary at 25, is it good on the boundary, Blitz? Yeah, good pressure in front of 10. Okay. Potentially soft out of this tack though, going to attack now, pretty much high.
Hard to believe a lap's gone down. We've got such a big lead, surely. After 1 lap, the British really having to dig deep now.
We've seen INEOS Britannia so strong, so fast, and just a little bit more pressure. How vulnerable do you think they are, Glenn, in slightly less wind?
They've certainly opted for a slightly smaller foil package than the Swiss, so if anything, these conditions are probably the hardest. Their small foils to hang on, lots of flat movement to keep the boat flying, so really interesting.
Well, it's not late. It's not raining, ladies and gentlemen. It is actually, they're working hard.
I don't see the pressure on the top. Still see it on the left. So
let's go on the Alinghi Red Bull Racing chase boat with their coach, Petro Sibello. Petro, you must be comfortable, but also a little nervous about what the wind is doing today, but nice job so far.
Yeah, not so comfortable to be to be true. We had a very strong start and we struggled in the first deck with a touchdown, which made us lose quite a bit. But then the boat handling raised up the level. The guys are doing a great job. It was the focus for us to really make the boat handling work in these waves. You know, the wind is also should be keep dropping, and I think it's the key for the rest of the race now. Yeah, they're doing really well.
Pietro, it looks like the boys are gaining all the time. They have great pace. How surprised are you and how pleased are you?
Yeah, it's very nice to see. I mean, we see that also INEOS is probably on their M2, so maybe they're also struggling for that today. The wind keeps dropping, and you know, in wavy condition, being powerful on the sails is the right choice. Let's see. Yeah, it's working well for the moment.
Thanks, Petros. Almost halfway.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice pressure, yeah.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing are doing what they simply need to do. They have to win against INEOS Britannia to keep their America's Cup campaign alive. And at this particular point in time, as they complete the halfway stage of this race, they are ahead of INEOS Britannia as they round the mark and head downwind on leg number 4.
Sailing the boat really cleanly. The Swiss team, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, that's what they need to be doing. Nice, accurate, level trim in these waves. Good ride height and good comms. And just got a bit of work to do from here.
Take this right mark would be great. Yeah, trying.
All these manoeuvres hard, Glenn, aren't they? You can't take anything for granted.
Absolutely tricky conditions to sail in, and to see from these aerial shots just how much the seaway is affecting the trajectory of both boats.
INEOS Britannia coming into the top mark to complete the halfway point in this race.
We're working away here in
Still plenty of legs left. There's still 3 legs left, and we know one mistake, one simple mistake can make the difference in these races.
Luke Parkinson, bottom right, the cycler, ocean sailor. All-round great guy, working hard.
It is. They're in light now here, but again, really good reload on this boundary. Wait for now. 22 boundary here, keeping it slightly fast.
Chase 0. Peter Alinghi doing just a nice job today.
Certainly are. That second upwind was very even. It was just an extension of a boat length for Alinghi, so very evenly matched. But I think it's on the downwind that Alinghi are doing the damage. As I look at INEOS, just jibe and they touch down. I think INEOS at the bottom of this range, that's her Achilles heel.
They are just really scratching there to get the boat going. It's almost like they've got the brakes on a little bit. INEOS there look really bound up in some of this sea state.
They've lost 400 metres at the top end of this leg.
Okay, really low, good preload here.
Really struggling to stop the bleed.
Yeah, short, sharp here, tempo.
Yeah, with small foils possibly. Lots of flap down to try and keep the boat airborne. And the The Swiss there pulling off a jibe very cleanly, and they're just extending all the time here. So being able to jibe, re-accelerate the boat, get the apparent wind to bend forward, and then actually get down to course smoothly and quickly, providing huge gains in this seaway.
Considering the performance of what we've seen over the past 3 weeks, no one would have predicted this length of a lead by Alinghi Red Bull Racing at this point in the regatta. But they are doing what they need to do. 4 legs completed by Alinghi Red Bull Racing. 2 more to go to keep their cup going.
Really nice rounding there in tricky conditions, and flight control there of Brian Matreau. Lurillard doing a really nice job in this seaway. Not an easy boat to sail. Doing it in seaway, even harder.
Pick your time to go back. 17.
Massive pressure on that young team. Do not make a mistake.
2, 1,
Just on the bottom end there, 19 knots, bottom speed. They've managed to keep the boat on the foils, the Swiss, so very key tack for them.
Boat on the knife edge. Sailors on the knife edge.
Are you going for the same mark as us? Here.
Important jibe here. The British.
Very light to this bottom gate.
INEOS Britannia. Have they picked up some gains on that Tunwood leg? They will complete leg 4 and head up for leg 5. The Delta 1 minute and 25 seconds behind. Not over yet.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shortening the leg to 0.9 nautical miles.
Nice, lads. Still in this. Breeze has come back up. Let's get dock to dock, lads. Yeah.
Swiss there, pulling off a tack, seeing a bit more pressure out that top left-hand side. The Swiss need to absolutely keep sailing the boat well here, otherwise the British will be mowing them down.
2, 1, made. Power. Here we go. 2, 1, go board. Pressure on. 2. Here we go.
So let's go aboard the INEOS Britannia chase boat, talk to Coach Rob Wilson. Just want to know what you're thinking right now, Rob.
Like the Swiss did a good job. Can't take that away from them. We had that little error in the jibe, which you know, gave them the lead, and you know they're sailing a nice race, and yeah, we've got to improve for the next one. Boys will be all over that.
Robbie, we just spoke to the Swiss coach. His thinking was perhaps that you have the small mainsail on. Is that right?
No, we haven't. No. So we've got a few options, and you know, we're pretty happy with the sail choice. But you know, we just lost the rudder in a couple of jibes, and so you know, they're sailing a good race, and it costs you, doesn't it?
You've got wins in the can, but still nervous?
I think, you know, the Swiss are pushing really hard, so it's, yeah, it's all on.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy transitioning 2. Hey, transition. Foot down. 3, 2, 1, mate. Turning. 1, 2, 1, going board. Bit of luck, we might make that. A little increase in 5.
This is probably
1, fall down.
Attack of the race here. Should pull it off with that boat speed, the Swiss. Just on the edge, and I think they're safe there. So big push there. by the Cyclor team.
Pressure again.
Really nice tack, good job.
Is it a good enough job to get them home? Nothing is a given in the America's Cup. Alinghi Red Bull Racing complete 5 legs. They have one more downward leg to go. And if they do the job, they're still going in the America's Cup.
An early tack would be the best. Push for it.
That was a great approach by INEOS and the Swiss team. It came in fat, they had room to build and really save that tack.
Coming up, free light. Into chamber. What you want to hit.
The British there, if they can lay this left turn, that is a massive effort from where they were compared to where the Swiss have come from. But they are right on the edge there. The British having to tack between the gates there, not quite laying, so, and they're off the foils.
Yeah, they missed that lay line.
And Alinghi are still on the foils, so the British off the foils at the top.
And it doesn't take a thinking man to suggest that could be the moment that keeps Alinghi Red Bull Racing alive in this Louis Vuitton Cup semi-final series. They're not home yet. But we keep repeating over and over again. You make mistakes at this level, it becomes costly. Race defining.
Yeah, GBR just under lay. Not any room for error. Weren't making the boy. Had to tack. We're down speed. That was the result.
I'll be as frustrated as a mosquito in a shop full of mannequins.
Sorry guys. Full take off.
Frustrating for the British.
And board. Pace it.
Meanwhile, right downwind, Alinghi Red Bull Racing are going to send their supporters and shore team through the rafters. Alinghi Red Bull Racing are not going away. They've narrowed the gap. That's win number 2, and they're still going in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals.
Go left. Okay, great.
Fantastic
nice one, boys. Nice one.
Job by Red Bull nice Racing there. The Alinghi team fantastically sailed. They'll be very happy with that. Apart from that first tack, they sailed a really brilliant race.
Yeah, they had a plan, didn't they, at the start, and it was well executed and great boat speed. I mean, huge amount of confidence with this team now.
Further up, just for
Well, they pulled themselves out of trouble after that race, though, didn't they?
They certainly did. They just hung on enough, and that first jibe where the British lost their rudder, possibly the defining moment of that race.
So the race wins start to narrow for INEOS Britannia, the official challenger of record. They've still got 2 up their sleeve. They do not want to use them. We know that for sure.
Okay, forward down here in reach. Yep. What's going down?
So we will continue racing today. INEOS Britannia still with the advantage. A little slap on the face from Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Confirmation of this 6th showdown between Alinghi Red Bull Racing and INEOS Britannia, and it's Alinghi Red Bull Racing with a 1 minute and 23-second win against Britannia. So, most importantly for Alinghi Red Bull Racing, they get another green dot. That means they are not going anywhere at this point in time.
Well, this was the start. Alinghi Red Bull Racing wanted that left-hand end. They already suggested it was biased, and they hit it with pace and got to the boundary first.
This ventilation on the new foil for Alinghi Red Bull Racing allowed the British to just execute their tack and get in on their lee bow. And on this downwind, the jibe, the loss of the rudder, Shirley, big skid there, not having any grip, allowing Alinghi Red Bull Racing to just sail around their bow and away.
From there, Alinghi Red Bull Racing held their nerve and dominated the rest of the race to take the must-win win and stay in the America's Cup.
That's what it means. That's what it means. Let's now go on Alinghi Red Bull Racing, have a chat to Max Barcelona. Max, congratulations. Beautifully sailed. Got yourself out of trouble on that first tack. You must be feeling good. You're alive.
Yeah, it's for sure feeling good to have another point. Like, we can enjoy having another race. So let's keep pushing. And I think we feel quite comfortable on this wave and light breeze. Very shifty today, very tough. But I think very happy with the performance of the guys.
Yeah, Max, huge congratulations on what was a must-win race. I mean, great speed and fantastic execution. How much confidence have you got from that as a group of young sailors?
No, for sure, like the start was a bit stressful for the first tack. Was a bit under speed. So we were difficult in tack, like touching the water. But yeah, like the left was very strong today. So yeah, but feeling-wise, me feel pretty good, and just we need to send it. So let's go for it and push for all the race.
Thanks, Max. We'll see you later on today. Let's go across to INEOS Britannia, have a chat to Ben Anstey. Ben, what do you make of that one?
Oh yeah, look, it's tricky conditions out here. It's a close race. Swiss did a nice job. We had a bit of a dodgy jibe on the beginning of that first downwind leg. They got past us and just did a really nice job of hooking up the shifts and the pressure, and good performance. So yeah, bit of a struggle for us, but we'll regroup and have a go next one.
Oh, Benny, it's Glenn. That little skinny rudder, mate, it's easy to stitch up your fellow helmsman there. Just that first jibe, really, the defining moment in the race, mate. It looked pretty loose.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's tough in these conditions. Quite a lot of swell out here. But, you know, that's all the nuances of sailing these boats, and just got to figure out how we can do a better job, and look forward to the next race.
Okay, good on you, mate. See you then, Ben.
Thanks.
Well, can American Magic do the same thing? Because they're in the same situation. You know, one of their helmsmen, Tom Slingsby, is a sailing legend. Olympic and world titles to name. He's been named World Sailor of the Year not once, but 3 times. And he fell in love with the sport while watching the 2000 Sydney Olympics. But his passion for the America's Cup began much earlier.
I was born in 1984. 1983, Australia won the America's Cup.
And for the first time in 132 years, the Challenger had won.
My dad is a big sailor his whole life. It was sort of part of our family and part of our culture to watch the America's Cup. I'm sure I watched the 87 Cup. I'm sure I watched the 92 Cup. I really remember the 95 Cup where New Zealand won in San Diego. And from then on, I always wanted to be a part of it. I've competed in 2 America's Cups, both for Oracle Team USA. My first cup was 2013, where we won in pretty dramatic fashion.
No major celebrations on board. That is just 1 down. They need 7 more wins.
Internally, we knew that we were the faster boat. Basically, Russell Coutts just sort of yelled at us, basically saying that we are the faster boat and how could we possibly lose. I remember I wasn't upset at being yelled at. I was just starstruck that I was sitting in the room with Ben Ainslie, Jimmy Spithill, Russell Coutts, Grant Zimmer. I was just in shock and walked out of it just sort of almost on a high.
The comeback of 2013 is complete.
That whole day is a bit of a blur, if I'm honest. When the cup was handed to me, it was pretty cool. I've just got that picture in my mind when I first got to touch the America's Cup. It's what you do sport for, is moments like that. I'll remember that till the day I die. My second America's Cup was Bermuda 2017. Team New Zealand came up with a very smart boat. They obviously went cycling in that America's Cup. They were able to beat us 7-1, I think the scoreline was. It's terrible to lose the America's Cup. You feel a responsibility to the country, your yacht club that you're representing. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. There's probably a big reason why I didn't do the following America's Cup. It definitely haunts you. It would be huge to win the America's Cup again, and I'm racing for the US, representing the New York Yacht Club, which has so much history in the race, and we've just got to go out there and perform and get through the Challenger Series. I think the reason why I've always held my Olympic medal above everything else was because of the journey, and it was because of the loss I had in 2008, being the favourite and losing, and then coming back and winning in 2012. With the America's Cup, I've had that loss, and now I'm trying to sort of climb that mountain again and win with American Magic. Previously, I've always held the Olympic medal higher, but we're able to win this America's Cup. Yeah, I'll let you know then, but I think it would definitely be right up there with the gold medal.
So it's on. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, American Magic.
An uncharacteristically aggressive call by driver Francesco Bruni gave American Magic the lifeline to fight another day. This usually composed outfit will not want to repeat that as they look to exit the semis. Bruni's co-driver is 8 times America's Cup helmsman Jimmy Spittle, and he'll be focused on restoring composure. Trimming is the ever-reliable Molinari's and TC, and backed up on the pumps it's Voltolini, Gabbia, and on the starboard pedals, Rossetti and Liozzi.
American Magic, well, we heard the relief in Tom Slingsby's voice 2 days ago after getting a win on the board. He knows they have it in them. They need to keep the momentum now in these light conditions. Lucas Calabrese will be seeking the shifts on the port helm. On flight, Campbell and manager, and then keeping the power flowing is Hall, Wright, Cedar and Chris Shirley.
And the American Magic team have seen what Alinghi Red Bull Racing can do to keep alive. Simply win and do it cleanly. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, that very experienced helming duo, will want to stop them.
Having a look at the Ghost boat, liking the right-hand side of the track. Wind has actually gone slightly right as well. Maybe we're seeing a trend. Keep an eye on that.
This is the race committee. We have met the wind limit, and this race is on.
So that's another good sign. We're going to get this race off in conditions that, as we saw in the previous race, very challenging. 2 minutes and 40. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli coming in at 2:10 on port, and American Magic 2 minutes on starboard.
Gonna kill a little.
It's going to kill by itself with 2 boards. Yeah.
Okay, copy.
Looking safe now. Okay. I'm going board upwards.
They had to kill a little bit of time coming in, but they've done a job and they're coming in. The green light.
Almost
and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. 2 minutes now for American Magic, and they seem to be coming bang on.
Maybe we don't need to do that.
Green light, and so it begins.
Yeah, spot on timing there from American Magic, so need to pull off a nice job here and put the pressure on the Italian team. Must-win race here for American Magic to stay in the competition.
Starboard helm, Tom Slingsby talking through the plan.
Yeah, happy. 2035, you're over race committee. Okay, thinking potentially that slam dunk that we were talking about. I don't see him up there actually. Yeah,
pretty light breeze, 8 to 9 knots.
Coming down a little. Pins 30.
And by
29 to kill. Okay, we're going to go for that. Trim on here. Okay, board down in 2, 1, board down.
American Magic jumping here.
He's jumping. Not letting me kill
Full
pin.
push, potentially roaching here.
Yeah, everything power up, power up.
Yeah, sailing high here.
behind.
He's a little bit slower than us.
American Magic really slow here. Need to build.
I'll be rolling up
Sure, we
now.
have a roll
Yes, they do.
on our hands.
Fine, slow here.
It's a big manoeuvre.
Really slow, 17 knots of boat speed there.
Bringing things on.
Okay, 15
19 line.
Get him to the line. He's going to the line. That's nice for us.
I'm going to punch through here.
19 line still.
Really out of bounds.
Try at your 60 presses.
Both boats under speed.
He's leg reacting, so
Speed build.
Should we go a little up?
Okay. Little jib on. I'll be full speed at this.
America have to roll Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli here, otherwise they'll get pinned out.
push and tack, okay, guys?
How overlaps the
Yeah, he's starting to come up here.
Two to kill,
Slow.
1 to kill racing edge.
Rolling up.
There we go.
Rolling up.
Speed here, guys.
Holding there.
Okay.
Rolling up.
2, 1, anytime take.
Nice job, American Magic there.
Yeah, strong attacks.
Green light racing. Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. Must win for American Magic. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
2, 1. And turning.
Early gains there to American Magic. Great job, Tom Slingsby.
Thank you.
Fantastic
trimmers.
start. Yeah, 3 meters back on the line. Controlled that whole pre-start. He set the agenda.
Certainly did it perfectly.
Just a hole here.
Yeah.
Big hole.
Everything we A can. little pressure up here. You've got 40 seconds this way.
Yeah, we look for speed.
He's a lot lighter than us, okay? So,
No problem. No problem, guys.
he's super
Okay.
strong.
American Magic slow.
Okay, let's build from here. Wind worry a little bit.
Lead change straight away, upwind leg.
20
Number
seconds.
1 of
Yeah, good
6.
path here, Yumbi.
Everything for speed.
Luna Rossa looks a
Nice
lot
slow, this
more
is great.
powered up. We are seeing more
Bye, guys.
pressure on that right-hand side.
2, 1.
Just going to have to go past
The
the
Americans
line
there
if we can.
just were sailing into a little lighter pressure, and the Italians
22.
getting out of jail possibly.
Hey, speed's coming nicely.
Let's head to the chase zero. Peter, thoughts?
Here.
Look, there's a change happening out here with the wind and the sky, especially the sky. There's a big blue spot to the left, and to the right, it's still cloudy, but the blue spot is opening to the right, which would indicate to me that the pressure is all on this right-hand side and in the corner.
Excellent ladders, guys. He's light to lower now.
Well, that was an unbelievable lead change there in such a quick period of time there, and
A little righty coming on your bow, maybe.
really tough for the Americans there after getting a good start and being in control.
Offset under it.
Just to sail into that lighter patch of breeze.
Setting 2 under. Hey, copy. I think about the same. Just under roll up a touch with this new breeze. New pressure coming. Start flattening out again. Yep, all good.
So frustrating for Tom Slingsby and his team.
Now, really, looks like we're super drag. We go one under. Jib on just a little bit. Yeah, jib lead in a touch.
Tom complaining about feeling super draggy. We're sort of seeing that as well.
Let's go out to the right. Stand by. Put down here in 3, 2, 1. Down. This speed's going to be low out of this. Turning, powering up.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the axis to 105.
And board down.
Super press here, guys.
Francesco Bruni there saying super press, so that means coming out
We'll
really
go
wide.
so everything you can do for a build.
Yeah.
So needing to come out further away from the wind to generate more
Coming
power
up very
in the
little,
sails.
yeah. We can flatten.
Soft at the gate at the moment.
Seeing only just over 7 knots of breeze at the top mark here, so
It's not going to lay, you just go fast.
this race is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Both boats having to stay on their foils as we've seen previously.
Little puff of mine help you.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli about to complete the first leg of 6
we got here, boys, and power.
in this must-win match for both teams in many ways. And the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. It's all very delicate out there on the water.
Very narrow, smooth, very smooth.
Very gentle, boys.
The Italians go round.
Nothing to power up here.
We'll take the speed first. Here we go. It is growing.
Gently done by the Italians. Only 5 knots of wind speed. Easy does it.
There is a nice pressure here, but we just stay for speed here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thunder is coming soon. And just sail to the pressure. Bit more speed if you can. For speed, guys.
This series between these two teams has been one of the tightest we have seen. You will never count out
Looking for everything out of this, boys.
American Magic, who will get their boat around that gate.
And the Italians here, right at the bottom end of the speed range to stay on the foils.
20 positive.
Full flap down here. Just keep the boat on the foils there. American Magic still on the foils and around the mark. So
gone, maybe.
we're going to have a battle on our hands here.
No easier.
Luna Rossa couldn't get down the track, just trying to stay foiling, going back and forward.
Coming into new pressure here now. Not long to boundary. Speed's king here.
Are we about to see another lead change?
14 seconds. Yeah, gotcha. Keep on, please.
Okay, the next one potentially could be a
Stand by. We're down here in 3, 2, 1.
High pressure drive, the Americans.
And the super wide. Copy, take your time. A little here, boys.
These boats will be just facing at each other
Hands in position.
at the moment. So the right-of-way boat being Italy, the give-way boat, American Magic.
I've got to stay high because there's no pressure low.
The Americans just on the edge of foiling here.
There's a good gust on the other side of him.
copy, nice and smooth here. I'd
take some speed before you do anything.
Always nice and true.
Great job, American Magic, to just dig the boat out of the water.
Don't worry.
The Italian team currently only has 4 knots of
Gotta
wind.
keep pumping the trap, boys. Keep me oil.
And they will be sailing back into the gas of American Magic that have just gone and dived round them. So they will be sailing back through dirty air now, the Italian team, for the next little bit.
New pressure coming on.
And getting near the boundary, they have to do something.
If you need to cock up banana, go ahead.
That's trimming up, please. 3. Left turn. Header. On. Okay. No. Okay, new. Good wave.
Good grip. Oh. I feel safe here. Jib on.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1 nautical mile.
Slowly coming down.
There we have 19 seconds. Narrow. Good speed. Trimming it down slowly. Good pressure all the way.
Leads, it's marginal at best.
Yeah. Okay, happy to go there,
3, 2, 1, and board.
Trouble.
This is a lifeline for American Magic. Keep it smooth.
Got to be smooth in these conditions with these skinny, tiny little rudders. The side loading going through the roof.
Hold your breath. Hold your breath.
They've got the Traveller up round their ears. They're going to have to let it breathe to get it going here, but I think they're out of trouble.
Okay, just trying to roll down now. Got new pressure there. Keep working hard, guys. Nice.
Really nice job there. Lucas Calabrese just nice entry there, not over-committing to the turn early. Handing over nicely to Tom Slingsby on the other wheel. Pressure on the Italians now to execute this next manoeuvre.
Yeah, Luna Rossa got good pace.
This one.
A bit more oil, boys. Stand by drive.
Similar pressure the whole time here.
Going 3, 2, 1, coming down.
Nice smooth turn here.
Your wheel.
I feel like we're all holding our breath every time they jibe or tackle as we're going.
Really good.
But we are still racing. It's only
On trap. Big on trap.
the second leg of this must-win race for American Magic. Peter Lester, you holding your breath?
It's interesting just watching the boats zigzag their way across the course. They haven't got a long way down. They've got a lot of zigzagging, but the different angles that they sail in terms of hunting for breeze, hunting for grip, and then once they get speed on, how they can rotate the bow down towards that bottom mark gate. But it all comes down to staying on those foils, and if one of the boats can hook up and get a little gust of this dying pressure, and it is dying very quickly, they'll be off. And American Magic just look like they're on the edge, and looks to be as though they've touched down.
It's a wave. Oh, and the Americans there just not being able to dig themselves out. They're right on the edge of takeoff. They need to keep building speed here.
Looks like pressure on the bow on, right?
Yeah, just on the boundary here.
The Americans
not much, though.
Basically going straight across the course. Massive gains to the Italians all the time, but they need to drive shortly as well. And the American Magic team 100% off the foils here, having to do a rebuild, so chance for a pass here.
I agree. Stand by.
If we don't get too high. But not nice.
The Italian's going to tack here to try and stay on the foil. To stay in clear air. So only chance to keep the boat on the foils for the Italians here. American Magic needing some more pressure.
Oh, Italians.
This is the umpires. Boundary penalty, Italy. Double penalty. Distance, too much distance out.
Yeah, we understand that, umpires.
Oh, we're sailing upwind here at 80 true, so...
Sailing upwind, yes. We are trying our best. The meters are there. Oil.
Yeah, I think that was
60, 50,
nice
40, 30.
An interesting call
20.
There to tack the boat.
Coming up a bit, coming up.
Needing to sail in clear air.
Coming up for more.
Come up more, 20. Hold there. And down.
Totally clear.
Nice and smooth. Yep, nice and smooth, boys.
Nice job.
So they've
Nice job.
kept the boat on the foils, the Italians.
Nice and smooth. We have very good pressure
Paid
to
a
win.
penalty,
So
but they're doing 32
Trying to figure
knots
out
now.
how to get to the gate, okay? It's probably
we have
another
to,
tack.
basically, we have to stay
American
around
Magic 10
close to
to
the
12.
harbour. You know what I mean?
With more than right is always better for pressure.
100%.
If we stay sharp on the left.
All about staying on the foils for Lou Rossa Parapelli now.
Be a little careful out of here.
The wind field showing us some breeze coming down. I mean, currently the boats aren't really making much progress.
This is great speed.
Just over the halfway line of the track.
It's a classic foiling race. Rossa sailing into pressure.
And there is the lead change. Another lead change. How important will this one be, though? Still on leg 2 of 6.
Very light. Here's gas as well.
Come up, guys, trim up. Need oil.
Oil, boys.
Get some jib too.
Absolutely tied to the dock at the moment. American Magic trying to jibe in displacement mode. Super painful if you're on board. Gonna need some pressure to take off. Still a lot of pressure on Lou Rossa to keep sailing well here, so American Magic now into a little bit of pressure, so they need to get the boat on the foils as quick as they can here.
1.5 of tons.
A little pressure to come.
They need 20 knots of boat speed to get up and going.
Cheating on. Right now.
Cool heads on Luna Rossa.
Just got to keep the boat on the foils here, and even if you're doing...
I don't think we will lay, so don't worry about lay lines here.
Gotta be attack again here. It's our chance.
Yeah, that's fine. Anytime.
A little jib on. And by transitioning.
They're liking the tack, so they don't have to sail through their gas.
American Magic just building speed to take off, so the Italians need to stay on the foils here.
Nice one, guys. Good survival there.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 0.8 nautical miles.
Nice, let's move to down, guys.
Hey, looking for pressure again. He's popped back up again.
Yep.
American Magic coming down with a bit of pressure.
I don't think we will be able to lay, but I mean one and in.
American Magic here
Just speed here.
only have to do one jibe to get to the bottom potentially, as do Luna Rossa, Prata Pirelli. So both boats having to execute one more jibe and get through the bottom gate.
Pressure to windward here on this side. I think if we do the right gate, we'll have to be an early tax.
Yeah.
Keeping the spin around that gate.
Becoming hot.
American Magic.
Super light turning right, Mark.
I know what you mean, but the UFO is super expensive.
Trials here, Shirley.
There's pressure.
All over the show.
Light winds, mowing the lawn back and forward. Just trying to keep the boat lifted, keep it flying.
American Magic have executed their jibe, so now the pressure is very much on Luna Rossa, Prata Pirelli to execute this jibe. They're coming in at 36 knots, so they should be able to pull this off. But American Magic really coming down with some breeze now. So
On a chip out here. Yep.
Are we in for another lead change? And we've only completed 2 legs, just about to.
Almost going to be bow and bow here, Stephen.
Feels like the longest leg in the world.
Behind. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, this is a big moment of the race here.
It's only smooth, real smooth. Yeah. Okay, no problems coming down. Powering up, please. Not careful. They're good here. Yeah, smooth up.
So
very slow turn too. Who's laughing?
Do the job, as do American Magic. Got to stay up. Got to stay up.
Huge cambers there on both boats.
And lead change.
Something on the boundary, but overall I like the ride. You just can't get there.
Here's the pressure inside the American Magic support crew. Hospitality.
25 this way. Time build here.
Lead change back again. Back and forth, back and forth.
All the way looks good for pressure. 12 seconds. Stand by.
American Magic actually below the gate now to try and build the speed to keep the boat on the foils.
Turning.
This is the race committee. We are shortening this course to 4 legs. The finish will be at the leeward gate.
This pressure is to the right.
American Magic executed their tack. Lucas Calabresi
goes behind you. Yeah.
being able to hand over to Tommy Slingsby with a foiling platform. And Luna Rossa, Prata Pirelli had to come down to keep their boat foiling, so gains to the Americans. The Italians will wind up though and close that gap as they intersect.
About 3 ahead.
Feeling a little stronger there on this header. Yeah. Probably going to deep you.
We're getting stronger.
Getting headed hard.
Still no duck, okay?
I think they're
just for Yacht, American Magic.
Got him, okay.
That's windward hill. Better pressure right, so we're going to have to pick the best time. They're going
Really
to
focus on speed here, guys.
I think the speed higher than that, Kiko.
They're pressing hard.
It's left phase here. Okay, a little header with pressure here, Mike.
Pressure here.
Always good that from my eyes.
I agree.
Yeah, that's
nice and controlled.
That's why I don't want to do the overspeed.
Let's go on board the American Magic chase boat, Coach Tom Burnham. How often have you been holding your breath in this race? What have I done? Turn a bit legs?
20 seconds, slowly way.
You got 20 seconds, okay, boys?
Stand by.
No slower.
We're down here in 3, 2,
good pressure on the exit.
1.
Good pressure on the exit.
Our apologies, we're just having trouble hearing Tom. We'll get back to him shortly because we've got to keep our eyes on this one. This is a nail biter. This is the penultimate leg.
American Magic staying on the foils. Pressure on the Italians now.
Positive 21.
Couple of big waves there.
Back now. Nice.
Oh, they're just on the edge there. Huge power, getting good immersion on the rudder, so good grip.
Good pressure from here to the top.
In the breeze he's got. But we're just going to have to go for one and then left. On our software he's not laying, but on lifted here, rolling up a touch.
At this moment I think we go one and in right gate.
Big speed advantage there to American Magic, so they're going to have to do a little dip here.
He will go behind us. Potential top mark drill, but we don't care. We go
trimming up a little, rookie.
Right gate at the top is going to be
getting a bit of a header there.
Potentially light for our attack.
Speed here.
There is so much at stake for this American team.
28-29.
It's gone American Magic chase boat. Let's have a quick chat to Tom Burnham, coach, how are you feeling right now? Have you done much breathing in this one?
Yeah, not much breathing. It's definitely been a bit of a scary race here, trying to get around this race course. So let's hope we can finish it up here in good shape.
Are you on the edge?
Oh yeah, very much on the edge. It's pretty dicey conditions out here, and we need to make it around this top mark in good shape here. But boy, it's tough. It's not easy sailing. The guys are doing a good job.
All right, best of luck.
Thanks, guys.
Moment, I think we're across. Hard to know.
So both these boats coming into the top gate for the final time. Race shortened to 4 legs.
Yeah, no higher. See, just try and build a little if you can.
Oh, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli in big trouble here, I think.
Well,
If American Magic can take the left turn, Luna Rossa are going to be off the foils.
Copy.
Big gains to American Magic here. This could be the race.
Beautifully judged by Tom Slingsby.
Good pressure straight, so you got time.
Advantage American Magic. They are on the homeward leg to keep their regatta alive.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli having to duck below the gate. They'll have to tack and come back to try and get through. They have to keep the boat on the foil here.
Feel comfortable and you see Puff, I think you can go. Stand by, guys.
The way Mother Nature is playing with these teams today, I wouldn't call it right now.
Watch this guy.
Just over 5 knots of pressure at the top end of this track.
And they're off. They're off.
I'm fucked over by that camera boat.
Yep.
He's on the water as well, so keep racing, boys. So let's just try and find a puff to take off. Yeah, displacement, I think, and we go inside the gate.
Not being able to execute that jibe either, so
We need 20 degrees
the game's still alive here.
We need to really assess if we think we're going to get there as well.
The most important thing, Lenny, here is that they've actually gone through the gate.
Decent pressure coming to wind. We're here in about
There is that advantage
Let's just not sail high
at most.
we see really good breeze.
What do you want? This angle or lower?
Good cool heads there on
I'll
American
tell
Magic.
BMG down unless you think you're going to good chance of taking
A little pressure,
off.
a little more pressure here.
No, we're not far off. 13
knots.
Yeah, copy. I just don't want to give away this because he's not in the air. He's not going to get through the gate either.
Having a look at this top mark, head to head.
We'll have to stay on the falls, guys. Copy.
Luna Rossa there just not quite being able to
lefty here.
get around the back of American Magic and then up through the gate. So great job there by the Americans.
There is an intersection here, but neither boat pressed the button for a protest. I guess both were worried that maybe they weren't in the right.
I think American Magic would have realised that the Italians weren't going to lay the gate, so the penalty for not getting through the gate was far greater.
So Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli are about
First of all,
to
let's go inside this gate.
enter the top gate for the final time in displacement mode, but we also know that American Magic are well off their forms as well. This is not done yet.
But we need a little bit of stretch of
You think about the amount of time it took to do leg number 2. This is the 4th and final leg after the race being shorted by race management.
Luna Rossa get popped here before American Magic. Everyone knows what's going to happen. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, we're just ventilating the foil with this hit windward keel.
Don't you love the change in the storylines in America's Cup Day?
Always patience, boys.
If it doesn't work, I think we try on port.
It's not over yet, Stephen, but you can't help but be impressed with American Magic. They have hung tough, never given up. Tom Slingsby has pulled them together and made some really cool decisions so far.
And Mike, anything for flat boat is good.
Maybe we should go on board Chase Zero. Peter Lester, give us your wind thoughts.
I'm still holding my breath from we were right in amongst it at the top mark, and when Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli came by us, honestly, I could have put my hand out the window and given the deck a tap. So that's how close we were. But now the wind is just collapsing, and both boats are off the foils. I was really impressed by top mark management when they came into the top mark in that intersection with with Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli from American Magic, the course management and how Tom Slingsby had the presence of mind to put Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli really on the back foot. Impressive piece of strategic sailing.
I think we have some chance here.
If it's okay with you guys, I'm okay to take depth all the time.
Yeah, sure.
Boys, we may need a lot of oil now, okay?
1 minute to boundary. It jumps around a lot.
So
Nice little wave here.
the hope for
Boundary is the biggest one.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli
It
is
says
there's a
8.7
next
knots.
line of pressure coming down from the
May well
top.
be happy
And
to
they
push
will
the
be
boundary here and jibe and see if we can take
sharpening the
up the other way.
lawnmower blades as we speak, because they will be looking to take off, and if they can do that, they will be
Turning. That's a good deal.
down to American Magic in a heartbeat.
Good balance here.
If you're like us starting to wonder about the dreaded time limit, it is 15:31 local, so 20 odd minutes. Still quite a long time to do half a leg, and for American Magic to cross the line and stay in the America's Cup.
Never has a displacement race been so exciting. AC 75.
Tiny bit. Okay. Do have a bit of breeze coming down the course now.
No one would have picked
We're in the right mode here for now.
this result if it gets the way it's sitting right now. No one, nobody, bar those in the boat of Alinghi Redwood Racing, would have picked that win in the opening one of the day as well. Both American Magic, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, fighting for their America's Cup life.
They are on the edge of their seats. The New York Yacht Club at the 44th Street. So much at stake. So much hard work, day after day.
Got some pressure building on there. The pressure in that jib of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. And there you go. That's the wind field.
How tantalizingly close from where we sit is that finish line for American Magic.
Yeah, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli building speed there, 12, nearly 13 knots if they can. They're building and sailing into pressure, so they need to get popped and need to execute that jibe. American Magic now also building 19. They're on the cusp of foiling and they're off.
So speed build and jibe.
Yeah.
Happy.
Huge relief on the American boat to get up.
Not yet.
Oh, that's what it means. That's what it means.
Shots at the base of American Magic.
One more jibe to do for American Magic.
Just normal jibe past ley line here.
Can you believe this day already?
Okay, stand by. Down in 3, 2, 1. And turning.
Put up.
Italians have gone out of bounds. They've picked up a penalty. But for supporters of American Magic, who cares? They're about to
This is the umpires. Italy disqualified, greater than 85 metres outside the boundary.
Wow.
Race is awarded to USA.
So without even crossing the line, they get the job done. American Magic and Patriot are not out of this one yet. They pick up win number 2.
Lucas, very nice.
And it's going on.
Like to try to jibe here, I think we may be able to.
Let's just build speed and we'll look at going back.
A bit if we can here. Save up. That's the best angle I can give you.
Terry Hutchinson, the coach, and all the team.
And behind him, Doug DeVos in the blue jacket. The backer of this team.
Okay, next one is a jibe.
Yeah, copy.
I wonder, Glenn, if it's moments like this, even though you're up against it, that it makes it all worthwhile.
Well, I'm still just taking my first breath in about the last 8 or 9 minutes, so well done. The cyclists, Colton Hall, James Wright, Ethan Cedar, Chris Shirley. Take a bow. What a push.
Okay, let's just
Fantastic job.
off, I think it's going to be.
And a fantastic job there too to Andrew Campbell, Michael Meninger, joining Tommy Slingsby and Lucas Calabrese. And I know Paul Goodison will be pretty joyous for the boys. He spent a lot of time with them and feeling for you too, Paul, but well done. You've got the boys there and you're in the game. Nice job, American Magic.
4-2, 4-2. So both semi-finals now sitting at 4-2. Confirmation. New York American Magic get the win. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli disqualified for going too far out of bounds. But American Magic were going to get there anyway. So, scoreboard in this semi-final. Another green dot for American Magic. They're not going anywhere. They like Barcelona.
Tom Slingsby and American Magic dominated this pre-start. They wanted the left-hand side and came off with pace.
With that right-hand shift, just allowed the Italians to sail around the bow of the Americans and take a huge lead early on in this race. But it was certainly not over.
Well, this was a tricky leg, wasn't it? The wind dying, trying to stay on the foils. Luna Rossa did a great job. Big moment of the race at gate 3.
This was the moment of the race. We sort of saw it shaping up and it played out, and American Magic, nice cool heads there, pulling the trigger beautifully to get back on the foils. Nice cool heads and getting the job done to stay alive in the hunt for the America's Cup.
Nice job, Tommy.
On to American Magic. I'm sure there's a lovely smile on the face of Tom Slingsby. Beautifully sailed, Tom. Congratulations. You're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere yet. Nah, that's what we're saying. We want to keep this thing alive, and yeah, huge, great job for the whole team there. That was tough. It felt like we were going somewhere at one point, but yeah, I heard Glennie say that we had cool heads. It does not feel like that on board.
Slingsby!
Hey, mate.
Well done, mate. No, absolutely cool heads, and we were listening to the comms on board, and absolutely cool heads from where we were sitting. So to you, Lucas, and the boys, well done. You're in the game. Let's look forward to the next one, eh?
Yep, can't wait. Let's do it.
Tommy, we were listening to your comms, and at one point you said, hang tough, everyone, hang tough. I mean, just how tense was it on board?
Yeah, it was really tense. I mean, we did our warm-up, and there was a nice breeze the whole track. It wasn't that patchy, and then we got a nice start, came off the line, and we just were barely on the foil, and Luna Rossa were ripping, sailing all the way around us. So all of a sudden then I sort of realised, hey, this is a different racetrack. It's just changed, and staying on the foil is key. And yeah, we had less sail area up than those guys, and we managed to stay on the foils better than them. So that's a huge congrats to everyone around here, because that was tough. I was a bit worried when I got that light.
All right, Tom, congratulations. One more to go, buddy. See you later.
Yep, cheers. One more.
Let's go on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, who are under tow with Jimmy Spittle. Jimmy, what do you make of that one? Frustration?
Yeah, it was a tough race. I mean, there was a lot of minefields around, and yeah, it was just back and forwards. And I mean, full credit to those guys for getting it done.
Do you sense? I know you're a great one about thinking forward. Do you feel a momentum shift at all?
Not one bit.
Nice, mate. Obviously a tough game there, mate. Could have gone either way, but you guys are still very much in the hunt and sailing the boat well. So obviously not an issue for you guys, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you in the race later on today. Well done to you boys.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, not one bit. We'll take that and leave it alone. The confidence still high on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Well, this was a big moment, wasn't it, at this top mark? I mean, we had plenty of close calls on the second upwind, but none quite like this. The safety zone of each boat overlapping, coming together at a combined speed of 50 knots, and neither boat protested. I think if they had, the Italians would have been penalised, but neither really quite knowing if they were in the right, or maybe they were just too distracted trying to stay flying.
Right, a quick look at the numbers of this race. All yours, Glennie.
Yeah, no, well, I don't think anything needs to be said in this one. That the numbers probably don't mean a whole lot in this. So at the end of the day, I think it was all about, as we talked about, staying on the foils. And I think your average speed, take it with a grain of salt. Your upwind speed, take it with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, it was all about staying on the foils. And American Magic did that just that little bit better. And in the end, took a huge win and sailed a little bit less distance. So well done, American Magic. Live to fight another race.
And the Swiss are next. So the British have 4 wins, the Swiss have 2, and it's a formidable looking scoreboard when you're at the wrong end. And luck hasn't smiled at the Swiss, but Maxime Bachelin has no desire to throw in the towel on the America's Cup dream. The Alinghi Red Bull Racing helmsman is confident they can fight back.
The America's Cup means a lot for me. It's like a dream. It's the best for me in the sailing world. So I'm super happy and glad to be part of the team of America's Cup. Yeah, so I'm one of the youngest of the team. And yeah, so our team is quite young people, but we have as well many experienced guy on the team. So it's a very good mix, I would say. And yeah, being as a young, for me, I think we can push and we are a bit more like fresh, and we want to win this cup. So.
It's taken them 5 races to get here, but they've finally done it. Alinghi Red Bull Racing get their first win, and the cowbells will be going off at the team base.
It's meant a lot for me to be part of Alinghi Red Bull Racing. For me, Alinghi was already, when I was younger, like something too difficult to achieve, and so now being on the team, it's like a dream and an accomplishment. And yeah, so now I'm glad to represent this team and Switzerland for the America's Cup, and I will push for it. I remember the first day I went on the new AC75, our boat one, was just so a dream come true. Like, and you really feel that the achievement of the team, that we built the boat like all together, and yeah, it was a good achievement, and we were so happy to sail on it. And me personally, being on it, I was very glad and very excited. And yeah, so I mean, for me on the first and second like preliminary regatta was a very big excitement, and being finally racing against the other team, and as well seeing how many media and people watching at it was like a very good feeling, and I really felt that I was starting an America's Cup at this time, and so a bit of pressure, but a good pressure, I would say.
They will get the win and go to 2 valuable points. How about that? Job well done. It will now become 4-1, and the Swiss are still alive.
It's tough for the team, losing 4 points already. We just need to reset and yeah, going for it and pushing hard for winning a point.
Time to get hearts racing again. INEOS Britannia, Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
INEOS Britannia have let a 4-0 slip to 4-2, and the fiercely competitive Ben Ainsley will not be happy about that. They only need 1 more win to make it through, but look to be struggling in the lighter airs. Portside helm Dylan Fletcher needs to keep that flow of information going, but behind the pilots is Bledon and McMillan, and they have to keep the boat flying. On the power for this race, it will be Rossiter Carr Cornish, and leading his men, Olympic gold rowing medalist Matt Cottrell.
The Swiss team will not go away. They only just made it to the semis, went down 4-0, but right now have all the momentum. Arno Sarafagis has galvanised this young team. He's turned them into believers. Max Bachelin growing with every race win, and behind them, Vitreux and Rolaz are keeping them in contention with some race-winning manoeuvres. Powering the boat, Malafa, Notti, Delaz, Shear, Paul Jacot and Arthur Survey bring a fresh set of legs.
So again, we're in a similar situation as we were last time in the opening race of the day. Alinghi Red Bull Racing must win. INEOS Britannia would like to sort of find that form that's gone missing in the last two races. Question is, will the weather play ball? 4 minutes and 40 to go and counting for this third race of the day in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals.
Let's have a look at Winfield and the Ghost Boat, very much liking that right-hand side of the track. More wind also at the top end.
Well, I'm certainly in a flap after that last race. Can't even get my head together for reading what I need to read, but hopefully these guys aren't in a flap and doing their job a lot better than I'm doing in the commentary booth.
Not at all, buddy. I think you
a lot easier sailing than it is.
I think everyone's a bit stunned at what happened in the last race, and
good action.
Took it all out of us. I'm sure wherever you're watching around the world, you too have been glued to whatever size screen you have. 3 minutes and 53 seconds and counting towards the start of this race.
This is the race committee. We failed the wind limit and are pushing the start to 15:36.
That's just taking the wind out of the sails just a little bit.
Oh, I might be able to have a bit of a breath and have a bit of a regroup myself. Never do a bad job well, Stephen. So we will see a bit of a shutdown. These teams will have a little sail and then probably re-hook up again with their chase boats, but right on the cusp here, Shirley, of being able to get off the line, and you see that cloud building up out there, and that could do anything with the breeze as we go forward. So very, very tricky conditions at the moment.
Let's go into chase boat with Peter Lester. Peter, what is going on out there?
It's changing. So the cloud's building. It's just in the last, 10 minutes, it's got cooler. So I guess that's with the, the cloud cover, and we're getting later in the day. I'm looking up the course now, and certainly the right hand, as it's looked all day, there just looks to be a little bit more pressure in the right. But my word, those meteorology teams will be working overtime. They'll be earning the big bucks at the moment.
What did you make that last race, just briefly, Pete?
Well, keep on the foils. Doesn't matter where you're pointing the boat, just keep the boat on the foils. And I love that manoeuvre, the tactic at the top mark by American Magic when they came in on starboard and they had a piece of Luna Rossa. I thought that was masterful.
Start back to 15:37.
Okay, so just another extra minute there. You've just heard Mel from Race Management. So 9 minutes and counting to the start of the third race of the day. As we look at INEOS Britannia, you've got to think about Bleden Mole and Mon and his role, which is a very unique one. Like many kids, he dreamed of turning his passion for sailing into a full-time career. But his mum, a professional careers advisor, was insistent he get a formal qualification. He's now 31 and an aerospace engineer, living the dream as a sailor and a member of Britannia's performance and analysis team.
So I grew up sailing in Anglesey as a little boy. I guess originally it was the freedom kind of sailing offered. Go out there, just kind of you and the elements, be it in the waves or just with the wind. My first kind of memories of America's Cup would have been kind of early 2000s. I definitely recall my dad kind of watching it on TV, and at that time my focus for sure was around kind of dinghy sailing with the kind of Olympic path in mind. But that for sure changed during the Cup in 2013, and watching that America's Cup in San Francisco and where the boats had got to in the AC-72s was really kind of spectacular. And that's really what kind of drew my attention to the America's Cup and made me think that, yeah, that's what I want to be involved in. I studied mechanical engineering at university and specialised in aerospace engineering. And I think for sure having that understanding helps in my position as a sailor on one of these boats. Yeah, so this is my third America's Cup campaign now. My first one was back in Bermuda in 2017. And yeah, when I first joined that team in Bermuda, it was actually predominantly as an engineer. I'd recently just graduated from university, and yeah, it was really kind of my first into the team. As that cup progressed, I worked really hard at the time on kind of the physical side and the fitness training, and actually ended up fortunate enough to be able to grind on the boat. Hard to believe now, maybe, but then since that campaign, yeah, was fortunate enough to get involved again for the America's Cup in Auckland last time round, and kind of a sequence of events unfolded kind of towards the latter stage of that campaign, and ended up being the mainsail trimmer on board in Auckland. So that's really what led to this time round being involved for the third time, and again being part of the kind of the trimmer pilot group here at INEOS Britannia.
Go on then. Hats on the move.
The America's Cup is clearly a technical challenge. We have these massive design teams behind every competitor in the America's Cup who are working hard to design the fastest boat. But as sailors as well, we have a responsibility to assist in that area and give feedback and work closely with them. And for sure, my background with an engineering degree has helped in that area, allowing me to help kind of communicate from the sailing side back to the design team, but also helping to explain some concepts from the design side to the sailing team. And I think it's a vital part for developing a fast boat. You can't just rely on the design team to come up with a design. Like, there's definitely a two-way interaction there. To win the America's Cup for me would be absolutely incredible. Having been involved in this team for 3 campaigns, yeah, it would be absolutely unbelievable to be part of a winning America's Cup team, and yeah, to finally bring the cup back to the UK.
Lovely bloke he is too on starboard trim for INEOS Britannia. There is Bledmond, and as they get themselves set for the second race of the day, they didn't want to be here. They came into it 4-1, but it's now 4-2. They still have that strong advantage, but they got caught out in the light air. But every boat's been caught out in the light air somewhere along the way today. Some just handling it better. 5 minutes to go before we get clearance. Well, actually 2 minutes to go, because at 3 minutes, Mel from Race Management will say we're either good to go or we're going to be in delay again. So where do you think the head is now? Ben Ainsley leading the team, right? You're 4-0 up, suddenly you're 4-2. You really have to work the head game here, don't you?
Well, I think Rob Wilson sort of gave it away, didn't he? They were on the wrong mainsail for light winds, and it was a bit of a scurry, I think, at the end of that race to swap mains. So hopefully I think they'll have better pace here. They're absolutely teed up for what we can expect.
You'd certainly rather be leading 4-2 than following 4-2, so I'd be still happy to be sitting in their chairs, but they have a big job to do against a fast-charging Swiss team of Alinghi Red Bull Racing, who are really sailing the boat well in these light, bumpy conditions, so they've got their work cut out for them, that's for sure.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing looked broken a few days ago, but now, you know, they're smiling, they're high-fiving. They're growing both in skill and confidence with every outing.
And as we see the chase boat tow in light air, the chase boat's pulling the boats into the drop-off point, having to spike by 3 minutes. So the chase boats here having to do their work and place these AC-75s accurately on the spike off for the tow so they can execute and enter on time. So big job by shore crew and chase boat teams here.
Just like the jet skis towing surfers out into big waves. All right, closing in on the 3 minute mark. Are we going to be racing in the third race of the day in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals? We are about to find out. Another big one for that team there, Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Okay, still waiting on that call from Mel from Race Management. Closing it, it's 2 minutes and 41. And I'm told we are good to go. So, here we go. Cannot wait for this one.
10.5 pressure manoeuvres here to stay on the foils.
Should be good here.
INEOS very early there. This is going to be an interesting entry for INEOS Britannia. They may be early here.
In the box now. Go. Backing down. You got a big line here on that right side of the race.
This is the umpire's GBR early entry penalty.
Big penalty there. So Alinghi just have to get off the line clearly here and not get a penalty themselves, and the British will have to lose 75 metres.
We heard a surprise, didn't we, in Dylan Fletcher's voice. I mean, that did not add up with what they were seeing on their computer.
So they are going to be pushing hard here now, Stephen, to try and get a penalty on the Swiss team. Alinghi, Red Bull Racing now just needing to get a clean start, and they will take an advantage.
So a nervous 90 seconds now for Alinghi, Red Bull Racing. Stay out of trouble, try and not allow the British to put a penalty on them. What another start to this critical race for the Swiss.
30 for the boat.
Super soft wind, it's 8-9 knots tops. Just got to stay out of the gas. Stay fast.
40 for the boat.
It's gonna go for attack. Just look at the pressure for the next attack.
Good pressure on the boundary.
We're seeing a bit of pin end bias, so probably quite happy to get to the other end of the track.
Go down. They look quite early. Probably for the board for the com.
Another interesting chapter in the America's Cup story, what we have seen today. Two teams with their back against the wall, and they're throwing it back in the face of the heavyweights.
So the British taking a dip port start here. They'll need to wash their penalty, and they're going to go for a split tack start, try and get back into this game.
3-5.
Give way boat, the British.
Almost good to go in this 7th race between Alinghi Red Bull Racing and INEOS Britannia. We are good to go. INEOS have to brush off that penalty.
It's quite light for just above us here.
What are they doing? They're straight. They're reaching as well. Okay, they're sailing below VMG. Okay, you're clear. Clear. Racing boys, let's go. How are we not feeling this way? Let's lock it in, boys. No problem.
INEOS Britannia shaken off with the penalty. We are racing and sailing into more pressure. See the green area on the right-hand side of the track.
3, 2, 1, 8. Panic. 1, 2, 1.
Definitely more pressure where the British are at the moment on the course.
Come on, VMG for us.
And building speed there to 25 knots, so they're safe on the foils.
And there is the lead change.
Little pressure. Maybe lefties to come here, Ben. They're getting very strong now.
Swiss will
pretty wide here at the moment.
be accelerating up on the course here, so decision now for the Swiss whether to cross or duck, and obviously a duck from there.
Yeah, come down 5.
Could be a little down.
Okay, good angle. Okay, coming down 9.
Get ready to squeeze it back up.
Okay, holding here, yours.
Coming up,
close, and
The voice of Arno Sarpagas guiding Max Bachelon for the dip.
Looks pretty even. What's the shift here?
keep pushing a long one.
On to chase 0. Pete, how about that start or the penalty for INEOS?
Yeah, penalty, but how well did they execute it by just setting themselves up, INEOS, to start on port and come over to the right. And again, it does look a little bit better pressure on the right, and they topped into that to you know, had the penalty, got rid of 75 metres, but with that right-hand advantage, first cross ahead. Well executed by Ben Ainsley and the team.
Pressure's coming. Really solid breeze. Yes, we will. It's not attack for us. Attack.
Into building
Holding marginal at the moment.
Nice tack there for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. British, they have to tack now or keep clear.
Okay, tempo. Happy to sail your course here. Working away.
Getting a breeze now on us here.
Just across comfortably there, so good comms on board. British boat. Keeping clear by crossing is always a good way to do it if you can.
We'll get beacon.
And a little light patch, there's good breeze between us and the windward mark.
Get all the way to the boundary here. Yeah, let's shift to the boundary.
Good boat speed on both boats and good wind speed at this top end of the track, more than we've seen for a long time.
Sailing into probably a 10-knot puff there versus a 7-knot lull, so a 3-knot increase in true wind speed. And give you a huge amount more forward speed and angle towards the mark. So you can see the British team there hooking into that pressure, that darker patch on the water. It's a nice little lefty with that left-hand shift, giving them a little advantage there. But nothing in this race at the moment.
Nicely judged.
Now we pass him there. Okay, pass him here.
Nice pressure in 2. 1 pressure now.
Lead change coming into the top gate for the first time in this 7th race between these two.
Pressure in 2. 28.
Stay fast.
Pressure. Hey, my well.
Out by the moment. Stay 5 down 2.
Neither boat laying the gate.
Ley line coming up here.
Okay. Down angle, lower.
Turning up in your wheel. Yeah, turning up.
Really nice job there by the British.
1, 4 down
coming down at their opponent, which you're allowed to do, forcing your opponent to keep clear, building speed.
Good pressure on exit.
And the British now in a very, very strong position.
Try and lay the right gate here. Yeah.
Coming into the top right.
Turn.
Top gate for the first time in this must-win match for Alinghi Red Bull Racing, and we need to win match for INEOS Britannia to become the first team into the Louis Vuitton Cup final. One leg done by the British.
Okay, your wheel.
British will take a big gain here, forcing Alinghi low, and then
think about the pressure. Don't drive into that gas.
Going main on here.
Good pressure here at the moment. Ready to go. Nice.
This is safe. Come on.
Nice pressure coming back.
1, clear.
Keep pushing, guys.
Gates back.
Really good boat speed. INEOS Britannia, they're over 40 knots of boat speed. Sailing into a nice little bit of pressure there. They'll take a further gain, sailing into that breeze.
More breeze at the top of the race course here.
Pulling out to very quickly a 420 odd metre lead. So how quickly going from a cross just to a 420 metre lead. Alinghi Red Bull Racing now under pressure to keep it tight.
A bit of pressure coming here. I think more and more right will come. Is this cloud? Yeah. No.
I keep pushing, huh? So no can happen.
Nice pressure here.
Big nice one. On the long tack.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1.2 nautical miles.
Yep. Lower than that, yeah, it's good angle. Maybe on right seat.
2, 1, 8. Turning.
Oh, they've lost the rudder, the British. It's a bad jibe, down to 20 knots. They need to re-pop the boat here. Got to get the board out.
That went really early there with loads of ease.
Big mainland.
Just enough breeze there to get back up on the foil, so lucky that they weren't marginal on true wind speed there.
Good save by INEOS Britannia. Lost a chunk of distance.
Yeah, you should be able to get ley line
so
here.
They know how to make it exciting for the commentary team and those watching, the British.
Feels like we've got a bit of give it some fat, doesn't it? Yeah. They obviously passed it here. Yeah. 2, yeah. 1.
Lots of discussion about coming in fat on the ley line. Giving them just a bit of extra just in case.
Okay, 2, 1. On board. Not going to lay at the moment.
Not their best jibe again. The British think they've still got enough wind speed though. They'll be able to dig themselves out of that hole.
They're opening the door for the Swiss, though, aren't they? Giving them every opportunity to get back at them.
By Trav.
Good Trav. Nice hit, good pressure. Watch out for that bottom left corner.
Yeah, it's quite a big call to drive out. You go right turn here, I think. Looks okay.
Right turn early tap from yesterday.
Yeah,
go on.
Your Trav here.
Nervous of that bottom left-hand corner.
Go right turn. Left turn, sorry.
INEOS Britannia
Early tack with the speed.
have opened the door twice for the Swiss on this downward leg, but have recovered comfortably and will lead the Swiss through to complete 2 legs of 6.
All the way.
2, 1. Force, just going to go a bit further here. Good pressure here, no rush. Okay, my chance.
One more manoeuvre here for Alinghi Rebel Racing. They will jibe and take the left turn.
Turning. Oh well.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing not able to capitalise on those 2 moments for INEOS Britannia on that downwind leg, and they will complete leg 2 of 6. They've got to find something, otherwise it's over.
The left here, just on top of us. Nice pressure in front. Okay, stay fast. Bad board. Okay, let's not into the boundary. Okay. Not total, but you got the breeze quite light, just you can want it, but a really nice board for me compared to him. Okay, let's don't get locked at the boundary. Okay. What's the speed? Taking in 3, 2, 1, hold down. Burning. Okay, 2, 1, and load up.
Let's go on board the chase boat for INEOS Britannia, and Giles Scott joins us right now. Giles, interesting couple of drives in that second leg, a couple of sharp intakes of breath.
Yeah, it's getting a little nervy on chase 4 here, I must admit, but the guys are doing a good job. We've got Alinghi nicely covered at the moment, and yeah, hopefully it can stay that way.
Yeah, a little bit more pressure, Giles, and a few changes of sails. I mean, how happy are you with how the boys are going?
Yeah, no, they're doing good. They're doing good. You know, as you've just seen, it's edgy out here, and the bump and the light conditions just, yeah, you've seen it. Losing the rudder is so easy. Yeah, we made the call to change to our bigger mainsail between races. So yeah, we've had a bit of a sail change there, but yeah, we're in a good spot. Fingers crossed we can keep ahead here.
Giles, early days, but if you can get the job done here, what does that mean to the whole group?
It is early days indeed, and I'm not going to make comment on that yet. Let's wait till the finish, eh?
All right, that sounds like a coach. Well played.
All right, thanks, guys.
Right spot here, pressure will come back.
Stay with it.
Giles knowing exactly what can happen with
Pressure
one
main.
slip of the rudder, or one wobble, one touchdown. So we've seen how well the Swiss can dig their way back in. So big pressure on both teams to keep the boat sailing well. They're pushing accurately.
Nice. Nice, guys. Keep it going here.
350 ahead, boys.
Right,
1 minute.
Let's head to chase 0. Peter Lester, British, are looking good in these conditions now.
Yeah, that mainsail change has made a huge difference. Just watching the boat out here, it just looks so much more lively than it did in the first race of the day. And look, they've done a great job of just protecting this right-hand side, looking at the course at the top mark. All the pressure, all the good action is in the right, and I think Ben Ainsley and his team have really picked that up early. You can see there the wind in the right, and it's just so much better. Right now, INEOS are looking really strong.
Like a little more breeze now, Shirley, on the course too. So over 30 knots of boat speed upwind. You're definitely not doing those speeds when you're in super marginal conditions. So still a few puffs and lulls, but the British team sailing into pressure, lining themselves up here for a nice left turn.
It could be tricky lay here. Yeah. I think we can lay, it's just whether we want to go the other mark. What's the bias? There is bias, but there's nothing in it, I'd say. Bias. Go left mark, early jibe. It's good pressure down the right-hand side. Yeah, exactly. Not that early jibe.
INEOS Britannia, the official challenger of record in the 7th race between these two teams, is about to complete the halfway stage of this final race. They have 3 more legs to go. If they are in this position at the end of the 6th leg, they will be the first team into the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Easy here, Bleds. Nice. Have to go, yeah, a little long this way. Okay, my trap. Good trap. Happy? Yeah, we can't drive, yeah. Yeah, you just, okay, they've tagged. Yeah, that's all right. I wasn't sure about them. Okay, yeah, all good. 25 this way.
Allez, puff at the mark.
Good breeze here as well. Nice. Good game so far here. Okay. Exactly, seconds. Stand by. 2, 1, 4 down.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing, what can they do?
2, 1, stand by.
British there pulling that jibe off.
No problem at all. And the Swiss around the mark.
Very nice pressure, yeah. Ready, even more coming on too.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1 nautical mile.
Nice right here.
Then get into it 5.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing just about sailing to a little more pressure here, so you can see the angle difference of the two boats there. Lower angle and better speed as Alinghi Red Bull Racing sailing to more pressure.
Way at the moment.
Okay, enjoy the zone now. Pick up your wave.
The G here, a little bit better for the Swiss there, making gains. Maybe to drive now off the boundary.
Okay, all right. Okay. Stand by here.
Quite a slow exit speed there for the Swiss team. Putting pressure on the British here to pull this off.
Holding. Okay, going forward.
Nice pressure coming back. 20.
Come back. Okay, just coming down and a bit of pressure.
Yeah. You see the next move?
Just staying on the foils there, the British, so nervous moments.
Really fast side here.
Led them on, Lee McMillan having to work hard in those jibes to be choreographed with their flat movements on the foils. Very difficult conditions in these waves to keep the boat stable.
Get to ley line here. Yeah, I think we can. A bit now.
Lee McMillan there. See the concentration.
That's a breeze the other way.
The eyeballs pressed up against the inside of the goggles. Concentrating hard.
Just reach and get that pressure. They jive in pressure, but okay to jive if you want. I think let's go to lane. A little bit of something coming down here.
You know, a few weeks ago, INEOS Britannia were using Alinghi to practice manoeuvres on. Not anymore. Their progress has been so impressive.
For clearance here.
Certainly got Ben Ainsley's full concentration now. They are not going away, and they have closed the gap. They've taken 100 metres on this run.
Quickly down to chase 0. Peter, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, are they closing the gap?
Yeah, I think they have closed the gap. I think it's because there's a bit of breeze coming in. The sky is looking really angry in the south, and this one's not over. There's still going to be a couple of curveballs. I just feel as though this one still has a bit of life left in it yet. And Alinghi are not giving up, they're pushing hard.
Just want to get there fast. Very good breeze here. Happy to extend. Entering the zone.
The British here, I'm not sure whether they'll lay down to take the left turn. It'll be touch and go. It looks like they're just getting there at the moment.
I think it looks good, doesn't it? I agree.
They
Done a
seem
nice job.
confident, yeah,
Yep,
but
done a nice job to
light pressure at the bottom here. We're seeing 6-7 knots.
Up in 5.
So INEOS Britannia will complete leg number 4. 2 to go. 2 to complete and stay in front of Alinghi Red Bull Racing. And you're 1 step away.
Beautifully executed lay line there. Executed, I should say. English-speaking language working a bit better than I am now. They've made it down as the main thing. Didn't have much left in the bank though.
Red Bull Racing have made some gains on this downward leg. The way INEOS Britannia are sailing Britannia today,
left here. Nice pressure on the bonnet.
Might be in vain, but 2 legs to go, and they have shown real fight. Real fight.
British executing their tack and staying on the foils, so it'll be a
We've got nothing on this
relief to British fans.
Really difficult.
A couple of light patches to negotiate though, so the next tack for the British and Alinghi Red Bull Racing in slightly lighter breeze than what is further up the course, so
for numbers. That's okay.
have to make sure they keep the pace on.
Keep it light, yeah. Very light.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shortening the final leg to 0.9 nautical miles.
Tapping them here, we match the speed. Coming for some speed. Copy. Speed is coming as well here. Okay, stand by. And board. Board now. 2, 1, made. Standing. Very well.
On to chase 0. Peter, what do you think about the chances of Alinghi Red Bull Racing? We've got about a leg and a half to go.
I think they're running out of real estate, to be honest, unless one of the INEOS touches down. From where they are now to the top, reasonably good breeze. And as they get further towards the top mark, it's actually even a little bit more. So I'd expect, given going into fresher breeze, the leading boat, INEOS, will probably make a little gain in the top third of the course.
Chris can't a bit. What's the berry? Going right.
Don't get one in on the right.
It's an important tack to pull off that last tack. That was really probably the most important tack of the race, I think, to this point in time, and the British just keeping the boat on the foils there. Sailing into a slightly more pressure now, so they'll be looking forward to seeing more breeze on the bow.
Got to keep their heads up on Alinghi Red Bull Racing. It is not over yet.
And just get this pressure here. Yep. Dead slack. Okay, stand by.
Nice speed.
Big header. Big header to hear that. 3, 2, 1, mate. Heading. Come on. Let's go. Holding a second. Yep. Going board.
Oh, this is not their best tack.
Big speed's coming. No stay with it.
Just over the bottom speed. They're lucky they actually tacked in pressure than the British.
Coming down at the top.
It's a big wash off the speed.
Low
ride height.
Flat or a bit windward? What do you think? Flat is good. Okay.
We need to go all the way.
I think it's good to take right turn and hopefully match them. Yeah, agreed. Good gains to us here at the moment, Ben. It'll increase in 5 short gusts. Okay, a little bit of leeward now, Leroy. Happy.
Port Helm, Dylan Fletcher calling gains.
It will be 20 the other way before the bearing. Slightly softer in 5, we got good speed.
No harvest mode on the new tank, please.
Yeah, got to get down the run. Nice work. Okay, stand by. And board. 2, 1, made. Turning. Very well. Yep. 2, 1. Let's go, board.
INEOS Britannia. 1 more leg to go.
Away from down. Wheel here.
1 more leg to go to be the first into the Louis Vuitton Cup final here in Barcelona.
Slowly away. Okay, the wheel. Fine. Come on, keep spinning.
How much pressure in this final downwind leg just to get it right and sail clean.
It's going to be a steady push all the way. There's the pressure here, lads.
41 knot exit speed there, so they are in good pressure. The British
go the other way.
will be happy with that.
Looking good in this corner again. Yep.
Swiss still 1 more tack to do to get through the gate.
Okay. Here we go, here's the best of it. Anyway. Stand by. All the way, yeah. Good slack. Going down. 3, 2, 1, mate. They got it. That's very fine. Let's go. Push. 2, push. 1. On board.
Hearing the voice of Freddie Carr, one of the cyclers. It's been a big day. Oh, Alinghi Red Bull Racing off the foils.
Peter.
Yeah, the pressure is told. Now, as they were coming into that top mark gate, a big right-hand shift, and they were chasing the shift. So before they went into the tack, that was very costly, and that big touchdown, I think that's the game breaker. For now, INEOS just need to keep going. It looks like they're going to take out and be the first team through to the final Louis Vuitton Cup.
Looking at the replay here. Oh, big shift, low pressure. Difficult manoeuvre.
There must be a sinking feeling right now for the supporters of Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Not what they wanted to see at the top mark for the final time. But if you are a fan of INEOS Britannia, the official challenger of record, your fingers will remain crossed for not too much longer. They have kept the Swiss at bay. They raced out to a 4-0 lead and looked like they would romp home, give the big donut, but no. The Swiss kept coming and kept coming and took it to 4-2. But today on a Wednesday in Barcelona, the official challenger of record, INEOS Britannia, have landed the knockout punch, and they are the first team through to the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
David the board down. 2, 1, 5 back wide. Let's go. Head done. 2 seconds, please. 18 volts. They're holding it.
And still have their business face on.
Congratulations to INEOS Britannia, the whole team making it through to the Louis Vuitton final, and it is a huge team behind the scenes there, family, supporters.
And relief for the fans that are in the van village who've been waiting for this one moment. They're a step closer to the match. But who will they face?
Well done, mate. Fuck yeah.
They kept their cool after this morning's race and really delivered.
But take your hats off to Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They could have been down and out, this young team, but they said no, and all through this regatta, it's been eyes forward saying, tomorrow's another day, tomorrow's another day. But today, as they cross the line, the dream is over.
A really solid effort from the Swiss team, Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Made it through to the semi-finals. Certainly showed what they can do and took a big race win this morning, but unfortunately not enough to stay into the competition. But hats off to the team, a huge effort, and certainly fantastic to have them here pushing hard on the waters of Barcelona. I'm sure we will see a lot more from Alinghi Red Bull Racing in the future.
So INEOS Britannia are through to the Louis Vuitton Cup final. They've done the job, 5-2 against Alinghi Red Bull Racing. And Ben Ansley, tell me you're happy. Give us a smile, pal.
Yeah, happy with that. Tough day out here, and you know, you can see it probably look for people watching on the telly, probably looked like we were doing a pretty bad job, but it's seriously hard out here with these wind all over the place and the waves. And you know, also credit to Alinghi, they set a great first race and pushed us hard in that second race, and it's, you know, it's obviously tough for them to not make it through at this stage. They're a great team.
What's your overwhelming feeling right at the moment, Ben?
Yeah, I think we're all very relieved to have got through today and survived and made it through to the final, because in this stuff anything could happen.
Congratulations, mate. Well done to the team.
Thanks, mate.
Ben, Arno's listening in on this conversation. Would you like to say a few words to Arno?
Yeah, just great effort, Arno. Sorry for you guys. you know, I think you're a great team and you're a great young team that have come through and shown a huge amount of promise, and it'd be great to see you back next time, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ben. I think it was a pleasure for us to sail the semi against you. We learned a lot, and we know what we need to do to improve. But really, thank you, and you guys deserve it. And all the best for the rest of the competition. We'll be cheering for you guys.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Ben, appreciate time, and once again, congratulations. We'll carry on our chat with Arno. Arno, it's over. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I think, I don't know exactly what's going through my mind. I think, it's over. I think we started to sail the boat pretty well yesterday and today, but that was slightly too late. But I think we're privileged to be here and to be part of this competition and all the effort from the guys. I think it's more a massive thank you to all the short team, the design, the support, to Mr. Ernesto and Mr. Matesic to have gave us the opportunity to do that, and I think we should not stop it here. We are into something, and we should carry on. But I think once again, we didn't have any issue on the boat, like in the systems, electronic, hydraulics, and for me, it's the biggest thing that we might have failed on the sailing side, but everyone else achieved their goal, so which was really nice for us.
Arno, it has been an absolute pleasure telling the Alinghi story. You came so far and got better and better as each race went by. And just a thought really about the young team that's around you right now and just how much better you have got during this event.
Yeah, I think we just did learn every day from our mistake and from the opponent. And I think I'm kind of really emotional, I think, to be able to sail with this young team, and we will look in the future to see what happened, but I'm really proud to be part of it.
And Arno, just once again, commiserations, but mate, thanks for being such a gentleman every time we've had a chance to talk with you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So let's confirm the result. And this series is done as far as INEOS Britannia and Alinghi Red Bull Racing done. A 1 minute and 10 second win, and INEOS Britannia the first through to the Louis Vuitton Cup final. What does the scoreboard say? Well, it'll show 5 green dots for INEOS Britannia. If they want to go to the match, they're going to have 7 of those in the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Well, it was exciting from the get-go. INEOS Britannia early into the box. They didn't think so, but it was pretty clear-cut. But they did a good job of mitigating the penalty. Fast behind Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Back in the game.
Sailing over to that right-hand side of the course into a little bit more pressure, got them back into the game early and enabled them to put the pressure on to the Swiss team, then consolidating from there.
Ben Ames, the INEOS team sailed such a clean, professional, mature race. Took the win of the race and the semi-final. Good work.
So it is time to farewell Alinghi Red Bull Racing from this 37th America's Cup, brought to you by Louis Vuitton. Their fans have been unfailing in their support. Every day they went out, they have given them their all. The bell has rung, and they have certainly not given up, and they have given us some exciting racing, to say the least. Maxime Bachelon, Arno Vegas, and this very young crew, loved hearing him say, we've got something here, we want to keep going. And here's hoping we do see Alinghi Red Bull Racing in the 38th America's Cup. They got the wins, they were 4-0 down, they got back to 4-2. But just didn't have enough in the tank today. But their flying 75 has certainly put on a show, not just for you around the world, but for their teams and their supporters and those watching on the beach here in Barcelona. But that America's Cup dream is now well and truly over. They will reflect and go again, and that's all you could ask for. Another race in the day. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, American Magic.
With another loss to American Magic in race 1, is this the momentum change? Well, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli would argue no, as they continue their semi-final fight. Helmsman Jimmy Spittle and Francesco Bruni will already have forgotten that loss and expect business as usual from this impressive duo. Trimming is Molinares and Tise, and giving it everything, clipped in and ready to go, is Voltolini, Rossetti, and providing some fresh legs, Luca Kerwin and Paolo Simeone.
We were breathless as they inched their way to another win earlier today. They're still on the back foot, but as Slingsby says, the momentum is with American Magic. On the helm, Lucas Calabrese and Tom Slingsby will have to build on that to win and basically take the race win this afternoon. Andrew Campbell and Mike Menninger kept us ice cold on the trim as they did in the last race. They'll need more of the same, as the power team needs to keep the power on so they can trim the boat accurately.
This is the race committee. We have passed the wind test and this race is live.
At 10 minutes past 4 local time, that's all we wanted to hear in Barcelona. 2 minutes and 44 seconds and counting to a port entry from Luna Rossa and a starboard entry for American Magic. 2:10 for the Italians, 2 minutes for the Americans. They would not want to do what INEOS Britannia did and get that penalty coming in just a little bit early. Even they were surprised, but they certainly came home and did the job. Will Luna Rossa do the job today?
It could be good pressure on the way back.
Hey, all clear on the mark. On-time entry there for Luna Rossa.
Green light, it's good. Had a moment there. And 2 minutes for American Magic. And in they come.
Rolling down.
Quite a bit late too.
A little late on American Magic here. Not too bad though. There's bumpy conditions, so they wanted to execute the jibe nicely here and put the pressure on Luna Rossa.
And turning.
Port up.
He's got to go through the light spot. See the base. You can see all the puffs coming.
Super puffy and shifty here, looking down the course.
You don't need the wind field to see that. Looks really light in the bottom of the box, but puffs coming further up the track.
Slowly coming down, guys.
No worries, it's good, boys.
He's going to go
into a jibe. I think we might. Yeah, pit's 15. Happy to go here.
Well done.
Okay. 28 knots here. Okay, happy to jibe over. Just nice and. Yep. One and more. Okay, he's going inside.
Kent.
We've brought up speed for us.
Speed up 30. Yeah.
Luna Rossa staying high. Pick their moment to go.
Up and speed.
Yeah, I can't see him, so
he's 3 lengths to leeward on crosswind. He's staying high.
Yeah, we stay high too.
You can see him through the window. You see him through the window.
Both boats over the lane line.
I think we can punch here.
Or pin. Okay. Here we go.
Can't see the wind with that. Punch to leeward.
They're clear there.
Nice.
Coming down hard here. Get back to boat. No worries on jib, guys.
No overlap. Looks like he got Solomon lost the fuel.
Very similar last start, okay?
So they'll be looking to build and then tack away
8 to kill. 8 to kill.
on Luna Rossa.
5.
No, turning up.
3 to kill.
He turns up in 1.
He will be slow.
Final 10 seconds.
Still a little bit to kill, okay? He's early.
We've got gains to American Magic here off this start. Well executed again, American Magic.
Slowly, very slowly.
Go, you guys really push.
It's a go between American Magic and Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Can the Americans take it to another race?
Okay, tax. Pressing all right. Nice righty, 128. Yep, happy this way.
Fantastic job there. Tom Slingsby and the team really got the Italians on the back foot there. Hard tack for them to execute. Early gains, American Magic. Will we see that right shift again, surely, like we did last race?
-1.
American Magic only 12 metres back from the line, half a boat length.
Okay, good pressure here.
Yeah, pressure, I like that. Right. Hey, got 40 seconds this way. It's a good mode.
Both is good.
2, 1. And 10.
American Magic should be no problems to stay foiling here. this amount of breeze, so I'll just be looking to execute, get the boat back up to speed.
Really good pressure coming.
Potentially quite a close intersection
Yeah, a little bit of it.
once Lunar Rossa attack and come back.
Stand by, guys. Going in 3, 2, 1, more down.
Still alright, hold on me.
21. Off coming on now.
Speed is quickly building.
I've got us crossing pretty comfortably. What do we
We'll
think
see
about the
Lunar
pressure?
Rossa start to wind up as they accelerate here. American Magic taking
A lot of
advantage.
trap down.
Going to be a close cross.
2 lengths ahead.
I'll be getting a little lift now. Little jib on, I feel like.
I don't think
Way boat,
you
the
will
Americans,
defend
right of way boat. Lunar Rossa, but the Americans
I think
there
it's gonna
clear
go straight
across.
here. At this stage, I think for us it's 1 and in.
I think we go all the way here. Maybe so.
Let's go to chase zero. Good start
Keep
by
pressure
American
here at the
Magic,
moment.
Pete.
Yeah, great, really good start, and well engineered. I'm looking between here and where the boats are on the top mark, and the right hand looks as it had all day. A bit more pressure on the right. This could play out nicely for the Americans.
2, 1, and board. And turning.
Really good pressure on X.
Agreed.
Great comms
Lightning and
on
gust
board
in
American
5,
Magic.
so start flattening.
Be righty.
Potentially American Magic getting up to that left-hand turn. One more manoeuvre for the Italians, so it will be a close intersection at the top mark here. Them losing a little bit of distance as they take.
124.
I'll be honest, try and take some high.
Off out of this.
Yeah, this is the best way to beat. 130.
Tax.
Fast build.
Rolling good speed here. Crossing ahead. What do you think?
He's going to go right ahead. He's going to go left turn. Happy to go left turn here.
Oh, we have a
pressure.
I have to go. We can flag it,
Magic
right?
making
Just
this.
for the road.
He's ahead of the
We just flag it, okay?
Pick up.
Hey.
No, protest.
American Magic.
100%. That should be a penalty, 100%.
Focus on our better way here. Nice.
No higher, no higher.
They go around.
1, and you're all clear.
Lunar Rossa Parada go around. Bruni suggesting penalty.
They're asking for a big one there, but
40 seconds this way. Nice left, okay? 100.
all clear.
120. Couldn't ride that.
Both boats sailing into pressure, but the Italian team there sailing into really good pressure down this boundary. So American Magic sailing off into lighter breeze. That blue is not what they're wanting to look out the front of the boat.
And ride this all the way. You pressure
Nice
there
boat
now.
indicating here
Stand by.
we should see
Put down here in 3.
quite a close intersection further down the course.
And turning.
Just for the road.
He's ahead of the
Here's
We just flag it, okay?
Mark rounding. Lunar Rossa presses protest.
That should be a penalty.
Going for the Hollywood there. And
Trying to say they were inside boat, but American Magic kept clear.
That should be a
A lot
penalty.
of distance between them.
Keep coming up.
yeah, they were turning up into them quite aggressively.
Well, this is what the umpires actually see. Lunar Rossa were into the circle first. American Magic. They just
Take a
got
little bit of
through.
speed here.
The giveaway boat here, American Magic, so decision time for the team.
Coming down, Lucas.
Clear across there by Lunar Rossa. Nothing in this race.
Coming on, please. I got it.
Do you see the bottom, Pico?
It has been like this for the majority of this series. These two teams have gone for, yeah, I know it was 4-2, but those first 4 wins were all tight wins to Lunar Rossa. So American Magic throwing everything at them.
We got 35 seconds this way. We want to go. Lucas, still working, please. We want to.
Potentially American Magic sailing into slightly more pressure at the bottom of the course, but needing to sail the boat smoothly.
Everybody settle, please.
Very tricky conditions to keep the boat locked in. So
Getting way too much windward heel here, Rob.
Okay, 10 seconds standby. In 3, 2, 1, and board. And turning.
Just looked a bit out of whack for a while. We heard the voice of trimmer Andrew Campbell asking everyone just to settle down, lock in.
It's a little light, okay?
Yeah, Luna Rossa there jibing in that lighter pressure as well. So nothing in this race. They will accelerate as well and start bearing away as the speed increases, as will American Magic. So you'll see that advantage line just to the Americans at the moment. Very difficult here for Luna Rossa to potentially lay in, but they possibly will. American Magic looking for a right turn.
So just like the top mark, we go again at the bottom mark to complete leg number 6.
Okay, we're going to have to just right turn to get this time. For us, I think. Okay, turning up here in 3.
You couldn't ask for a better match race semi-final between American Magic completing leg number 2. Luna Rossa completing leg number 2. And upwind they go on leg 3.
Lock her in, boys.
Something on advantage we saw for American Magic out that right-hand side of the course is now going to play into the hands of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli as they sail into better pressure.
The soft bottom left-hand corner of this racetrack. American Magic needs to get out of there. Have a look at the ghost boat. Yeah, well, exactly what we're discussing. Lots of gains on the right.
Francesco Bruni saying puff of the day, which is exactly what we're seeing as well. So.
Let's go on board Chase Zero. Peter, what are you saying?
Well, exactly what the what you're seeing. At the top of the course, the right will even get stronger. We've got that big black cloud still over to the right-hand side, just off the course, but it really is affecting what's going on the course in terms of the wind coming in from the right hand, and all the little puffs, all the pressure increases are all right hand.
The Italians might even attack back here, potentially, but...
In 3, 2, 1, anytime.
Better light out of this, boys, so...
Onto the chase boat for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Philippe Presti joins us now. Philippe, as always, thanks for your time. It's a tight one. You seem to love these tight races in this series.
Yeah, it's very tight between the two teams, and awesome racing, but a little bit hard for my heart.
Well, it's not only hard for your heart, Philippe, it's hard for ours too, watching, mate. So not easy for everybody, but what's your prediction from here on?
Yeah, it seems that there's a good breeze to the right. There's big clouds on the right, so boys decided to protect this side, and hopefully it's gonna pay off. But first race was very, very difficult because we had a good lead, and at one stage we couldn't progress through the wind. But still
just digging it out. The team there, right on the edge of foiling. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and Philippe and I are both feeling the same feelings as we look at American Magic sailing into pressure. So, Philippe, our thoughts are with you, but also with American Magic here as they tack. So, very, very close race for us here at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be a close race until the end, I believe.
Thanks, Philippe.
Welcome.
Okay.
Big cross coming here, Shirley.
They will go behind us, same deal,
right hand
but we cannot protect the right now.
Okay, copy.
Actually, it's almost across, so BBMG.
So we've got a funny
pace in American Magic.
Just keep coming.
He's across at the moment. That's our angle. Top man grill, basically.
Okay. We're across your wheel. Fine. Good pressure on the bow.
Coming straight here. 29 is a good speed.
Slower. Yes. Okay, we haven't got long. 15 seconds to a lay.
Going a little lighter here in front, so let's keep the speed.
It's starting to look good on the right, unfortunately, but just keep going this way. We don't have a choice.
No problem.
It's calling a little puff over here now.
It's calling 3 seconds to lay. Calling lay line, your call.
So I think the American Magic team potentially doing well here towards the top. They will be on starboard coming in. They're going to need a little right hand wide to get the boat accelerated. going to be very, very close here. Nothing in it at all.
And the third gate running again. There is nothing in it. Green means right away.
Down in 2, 1.
Oh, this is going to be big.
Nice bump. Good angle. Hold there. Hey, clear to come down.
Split at the top.
1. Clear to come down. Slow. Yeah.
Don't try, rookie. Yep. Absolutely nothing in this race. Beautifully executed manoeuvres there by both teams, reading it well. And advantage to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, potentially sailing into better pressure down that boundary. So very, very well done there by the Italian team.
15 to boundary. Good catch.
Ease me a little bit, let's try, okay?
Big manoeuvre at that top mark. Did so well to pull it off.
10 seconds.
In 3, 2, 1, and more. Nicely.
Lucas Calabrese handing over now to Tom Slingsby, so they're in lighter pressure than Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but they will get a tow away as they accelerate, and they are the right-of-way boat, the Americans. So decision now on Luna Rossa whether to cross or to duck.
There it is. Okay, here we go.
It's very tight
He's
for a
going to
cross.
cross comfortably.
Tom Slingsby got a better view than me.
Just that little more pressure, I think, on that side of the course. So
One more lap, right? He has a bad
something's happened there. Big breakage.
We heard the noise. Something broke.
I think they've broken the Traveller, guys.
Big moment in this 7th showdown. Potential breakage on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. We all heard it.
50 from boundary, close
That was
to
a big crack.
left. If you want, you can go
They
early.
will be out. That is a massive structural failure on board the Silver Rocket. They've ripped the whole Traveller system off the back of the boat there, so that is a huge structural failure there for the Italians.
Yeah, he's main sheet. He's main sheet.
Yeah, mainly is slack already.
Okay.
And the whole back of the boat there being ripped apart.
Race yet. Anything can happen to them. There's a lot of load on the port trav. Just wondering if we can disconnect somehow, Andre, back here. Is there any way to get the clue off without the tools?
Massive moment there for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They are out of this race and have handed the race win to American Magic.
Jimmy Spittle asking if there's any way they can get round this track. I don't think he's had a proper look.
Can you ease a little trav, Keko, just smoothly? Going right, trap going right or left?
So they'll basically be now working hard just to minimise any further damage on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Sorry, Stephen.
No, I think we're all just a little bit stunned here at the moment as to what's gone on, because
I mean, we've seen such a fantastic race, and although American Magic will win the race, we were seeing a great battle, and you don't ever want to beat your competitor through a breakage like that. So although they'll take a race win, and it's a real celebration to win the race, you don't want to do it under those circumstances in any case. So
American Magic completing leg number 4, and they will now still have to complete the remainder of this race. 2 legs to go, but the America's Cup has thrown literally another spanner in the works, and this series between Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and American Magic is not over.
They'll have to retire from this race, and when they do, that'll hand the race win to the American Magic team. But
yeah, it's going to be a new travel track, new hydro lines.
a lot of damage done there.
Bearing looks okay. It's just the travel track. Okay. Travel track and the hydro lines.
Just having a look, Shirley, here at the replay. A massive bang there, so probably about 10 or 11 tonnes at that point in time of main sheet load. You see the forestay going forward, lucky not to lose the rig. Big spike load in all the cap shrouds there and on the rest of the structure of the yacht. So absolute disaster for the Italian team.
apologise for the colourful language, but you can imagine the shock going through the sailors when they hear that. In layman's terms, why does that happen? What caused that? Is it just the amount of load on the Traveller?
Look, there's many reasons why that could go. They're very, very highly loaded components, and whether there was a fatigue failure there over time, we will never know. But all the parts on the boat, very, very well engineered, and whether there's been just a slight fatiguing there over time, which is very, very difficult to NDT or do the testing on that. A lot of carbon structure in those boats, and I know all the engineers and designers in Luna Rossa are absolute experts at what they do, and they'll be absolutely looking through the data, and unfortunate for them, and they're all fantastic guys, and this won't be the last we see of Luna Rossa Prada Pro. They'll be back firing again in the not too distant future.
What's the fixed time on something like that?
Look, I'd say that'd be potentially an overnight fix for them. They'll have other componentry there ready. It'll be a scramble behind the scenes now, behind the closed doors of the garage at Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but they will have componentry there that they'll be able to repair the boat. It'll be a big job. There's a lot of other componentry there, not only the track, but hydraulics and electronics as well.
Let's go on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Jimmy, what happened?
Looks like we've broken the Traveller track, unfortunately. So we're just going to let this race play out. Americans are still got to get over the finish line, and then as soon as that happens, we'll go sails down, head ashore, and then get ready to race tomorrow.
Yeah, Jimmy, how big a job does it look?
I mean, look, we've got a lot of faith in our shore team. They're definitely one of the best in the business. So, yeah, we have to wait till we get back ashore, but there's no doubt our boys will pull out every stop we need to get us back out there.
Appreciate the time, Jimmy. Goodness gracious me. In the meantime, American Magic will be heading towards that top gate to complete leg number 5 and start thinking about tomorrow, because when they do finally get across that line, they will be one race behind, levelling the series up. Can you believe what today has thrown up? Seriously.
It's been an interesting day, Shirley, and the Italians there deciding not to retire from the race and just force the Americans to sail around the course, because they could equally have a failure, or the wind could shut down, or they miss the time limit. There is a small chance they don't make it around the track, so they're doing everything they can. This is the America's Cup.
I'm flicking through the America's Cup page of what can go wrong.
No, it's not over till it's over, and you actually have to get across the finish line. There's no easy race wins, and
3, 2,
one more leg for American Magic to complete, to take it to 4-3. So we can't call it. We're not going to call it. We're going to be very careful. Sitting next to the wise old owl saying, just be careful.
Well, I think we will just continue. Although the Americans will be really happy to move forwards, and it was anyone's race. Very, very disappointing to take a race win with your opponent having a breakage. But that is the America's Cup, and these boats and teams are pushing the limits, so that's how it rolls.
What's the old story? There is no second, right? There is no second. And as much as they will feel for their fellow sailors, that win is another step forward. Another huge step forward.
As we keep saying, surely it is a massive team effort across the board, and all these boats being pushed hard, designed on the edge, and it's not just the sailing team that gets the boat around the track, a massive shore crew and design team behind the scenes, and Lucas Calabrese.
Yeah, what a day for this team.
Absolutely.
2-0, so impressive. And for Tom Slingsby, he's really helped Lucas Calabrese, hasn't he? He's really pulled it together. They were out yesterday training, and he's had that lovely, calm voice today. Never gave up. Never gave up.
See how you go. We've got plenty of time.
Lucas doing a really nice job there, filling some big boots of Paul Goodison. Doing a great job.
Hard pressure coming in 5.
Let's go on board the chase boat for American Magic coach Tom Burnham joins us right now. Well, Tom, once you get across the line, it'll be 4-3, but up to this point it was a fabulous race.
Yeah, it was a great race, and was looking forward to seeing how it turned out. I really feel for these guys. That's a tough break to have, and not the way we want to win a race. So really feeling for the guys on Luna Rossa, because that's a tough break.
But as you look forward, Tom, now there's just one race separating, and this is a huge fillip for the team.
Yeah, for sure. The guys have been doing a great job just taking it one race at a time, as we keep talking about, and really just approaching every race as a new challenge, and just not looking too far ahead. So they're doing a great job, and look forward to coming out tomorrow and doing it again.
Can you believe what you've seen today with both semi-finals?
No, I can't believe it, actually. It's been a heck of a day. It's been a roller coaster over here in the chase boat and a roller coaster on the race course, so pretty wild day today.
A roller coaster in the commentary booth too, Tom, so I'll give you the tip. Enjoy the rest of the day, and yeah, totally agree with tomorrow being another day, and hats off to you guys, but also thoughts with Luna Rossa and their work this evening.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys. Nice to talk to you. Thank you.
As always, Tom, I love it when an interviewee ends the interview quickly. They've got other things to do, as we see American Magic about to cross the line, and their America's Cup dream is still alive. They take the semi-final series to 4-3. Would you believe it? They are still going. Patriot flies.
Great job, fellas.
As does the champagne.
Luna Rossa, we are retiring. Mel, can you open the comms to our chase boat?
Copy that, Italy. Will do.
I can't think of a day in the last two America's Cups that I've been fortunate to be involved with that we have seen so much unfold in 4 races. I'm gobsmacked, absolutely gobsmacked.
Let's keep going in.
Believe in magic, Stephen. They are.
I don't know who's writing the script for this racing, but whoever they are, I need to go and have a cup of tea.
Mate, I think we all need a cup of tea and a lie down. Let's confirm what we have just seen. Last race of the day. A DNF, a huge breakage for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but the win to the New York Yacht Club's American Magic. So this is where it stands right now, 4-3. One more win to American Magic, and we're locked up. That will be tomorrow. Crikey dicks. I can't believe this.
Well, it seems an age ago now, but this was the start actually beautifully controlled by Tom Slingsby. Had a great start at pace, and of course Luna Rossa off to the right-hand side.
This first gate, surely the Italians going for the piece, but Richard Slater and the team have seen that move here before, and all clear there, but the race was absolutely on. And this unfortunate moment for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli there, a huge structural failure of the traveller track at the back of the boat, like an absolute gunshot going off, and that's not a nice feeling when you're on board the yacht.
And that gave American Magic a lifeline, another win.
Nice work.
What a day, 2-0.
So let's go on board American Magic. Tom Slingsby, you have never wavered from the fact that if you can sail this boat well, you could win the America's Cup. Now, despite the huge gear failure for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, congratulations, 4-3.
Yeah, thank you. No, I mean, it's not the way you want to win those races, and our thoughts are with Luna Rossa. We've had gear failure as well, and it's not nice. It's not a nice way to lose. But yeah, like, just hats off to our guys as well, though. We kept the pressure on, and the guys are sailing really well, and look, luck went our way this time, and we're still in it, and we've got to be thankful of a little bit of luck going our way, and still plenty of work to do. We want to get faster than we are today.
The human emotion, though, Tom says to me, you've got to be just a little bit excited knowing where you are with this boat at the moment, because this whole series, in your words, has been tight.
Yeah, look, it's a tough one. We felt like we could have won a lot of those first few races. At least 2 or 3 of them felt like we had within our grasp, and it didn't go our way. So look, we we're happy with the way we're sailing. We can still improve. Luna Rossa are still an unbelievable team, and we've got to remember that heading into tomorrow's races.
Tom, massive congratulations. What a day. When I spoke to you the other day, you talked of it being a momentum change. What is this right now?
Yeah, this is going really well. Sorry, guys. I might have to steer the boat in here, but yeah, momentum's going our way. Okay, happy to jive there, Lucas?
Okay, mate, we'll leave you alone. Congratulations, and we will see you tomorrow. So there you go. Happy Tom Slingsby as we see the shore crew up aside Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli after that massive gear failure. Race ender. Oh, my goodness gracious me. How about that? But they are still one race ahead, and I will keep reminding people, you're still in pole position when you are that one race ahead, because all the work has to be done in the shed tonight for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but it all has to be done on the water by American Magic tomorrow. Let's take a look at the key moment, shall we? Because it'll be a cracker.
Well, we heard it before we saw it, didn't we? This was the moment that track pulled out a massive bang. So much load, Glenn, on that track.
Yeah, you'd be very much around 10 tonnes there, letting go in a single firing shot. So a lot of structural analysis to be done on the rest of the yacht, not just the traveller track. A lot of shock load through the whole.
They did well also to keep the rig upright.
That was the key moment from that race. Let us look at the numbers, and that'll be a hard read, but particularly if you look at that DNF from the Italians, from our good friends at Omega.
Yeah, look, I think what we see there is obviously the top speeds of the boat's very, very similar, and it's going to be hard to get the absolute numbers off this race because the Italians did actually shut down, so the average speeds there obviously not right, and also the upwind speed. So at the end of the day, USA survive another day, and they will be off to the races tomorrow again and live to fight another day, and hopefully we get to see Luna Rossa back out there in the water again, firing on all cylinders.
So let's wrap the day as time runs out. And just briefly, American Magic are through. Alinghi Red Bull Racing are gone, but we still have racing to go. We still haven't found that second person or second team into the final of the Louis Vuitton Cup. Who will join INEOS Britannia? But what a day it has been. Let's just look back at some of the best moments of this day. And man, they kept it. You've got to hand it to Alinghi Red Bull Racing to keep it going.
Yeah, Alinghi Red Bull Racing came out firing. They were a different team today. They seemed confident. They executed well.
Strong attacks. Yep, big front.
And then in the first race of the day, well, American Magic stayed alive.
I've got straight.
Some big moments in these races, and American Magic team getting the first one, and then we saw some great battles with Alinghi Red Bull Racing and INEOS Britannia in that second race of the day for them, but the British managed to just keep ahead of the Swiss team, and we'll say goodbye to them from this series. And another fantastic race, Shirley.
This was a battle until this point. Really disappointing for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. I'm sure they'll be back.
They will be back because there is one goal on the mind for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and American Magic. They want to meet INEOS Britannia, to fight for that, fight for the win 7 races and meet Emirates Team New Zealand in a match starting October 12. We are not done yet with the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. So there we go. Let's just have a look of the semi-final results. INEOS Britannia are through 5-2 and into the Louis Vuitton Cup final. But it's not done in the other semi-final between Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and New York Yacht Club's American Magic. We are at 4-3. How does it work, man? It's look, we started with 5 challenges and we are down to 3 still left, but 2 are still vying for that final spot. Will it be American Magic or will it be Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli? We don't know. That's the glory of the America's Cup. Tomorrow, look out, we are in Group B, the invited teams in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. 4 fleet races, and then we're back into the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. Can it go 4-4? Well, who knows? But what we have experienced today on this Wednesday here in Barcelona, the 18th day of September, is magnificent racing. Magnificent racing from the UniCredit Youth America's Cup and the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. How could you not want more? So join us wherever you are around the world tomorrow for more of the Cup.